Child, this little stuff, it be too much goings on. Too much. Let me see. Let me call Aisha and see what's going on. Hello, y'all. I'm late as hell. No, it's 11 o'clock on the dot. I was gonna tell you, girl. Whenever you ready, you should be able to click the link and join.
Yes, I'm ready. I was gonna text you, but then it was 11 o'clock. So I was like, let's get in there. So I'm getting in. I'm typing my name.
Okay. All right. Well, whenever you join, I'm live already, but whenever you join, it's cool.
Okay.
All right. Y'all say hi. Girl, I'll see you in a minute. Now, I can't see the chat for nothing. I'm going to have to go over here and see, can I see the chat? I'm scared to do that, quite frankly. Y'all, I got some watermelon. Now, see, this is what I find interesting. Oh, no, it's 5 people watching. Okay, who are the 5 people? Y'all say something. Y'all probably already saying something. Okay, let me pause that. Hey, Lynette, Army Chickadee, and Erica Carter, and somebody else, honey. Oh, yeah, it says start a Q&A or a poll. Oh, hey, Janet, I ain't seen you in forever. Hey, girl. Hey, Marva. Aisha be here momentarily. Let me see if she better than already. Oh, there she goes. She down here. Let me add her in. Hey, girl.
Hey. Can you see me? Can
What's
you hear
happening?
me?
Hey, baby. Who is this in the corner? Go on and say hello to the people.
Hey.
Don't be quiet now. You be talking trash in them videos. Don't think I don't hear
you. Yeah, you do. Why you say what? Babe, what did you
Yeah, right. He be talking so much noise in them videos. Yeah, we can see you good.
Wait, I don't think the sound isn't coming through here though.
Is it not? Why can I hear you then? Let me make sure.
I'm just gonna take them out. Okay, sorry. I was trying to be high tech.
Oh, fancy smancy.
How do can I turn up her volume?
I love it how he your IT man. Do he get paid for that?
He told me $5 when he made the streamline work 20 minutes ago. I was like, babe, I don't want to be late. And I couldn't get my camera to work. And then he got it to work. I was like, okay, great. Thank you. He was like $5.
Tell him he cheap, girl. Even I can afford him, girl. Hey, Lynn, what girl?
Don't
Lynn,
encourage him.
what in the world?
When I win, we all win.
Child, girl? Let me tell you how this morning has been a whirlwind. So I got my black tail up. Me and another friend of mine that garden. We went to the farmer's market this morning. I got some watermelon from the farmer's market. That's all I got. He got a bunch of stuff. Then came back. Somebody wanted a tour of the garden. So garden, because they're trying to garden, but they say they struggling. And they was like, well, our yard is shady and it's not growing. I said, it's not the shade. I said, baby, I grow in the shade. So it's not the shade. And you know how people just can't believe it until they see it. Mm-hmm. And so they came over and I gave them a tour of the garden and they was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I'm like, okay, well, just set up a time for me to come to your house so I can see what you're doing. Cause sometimes it's hard to just kind of know, exactly what they doing, right or wrong or whatever. So they got to talking, but long story short, they left. Then here come they trying to sell me some internet. The girl done
Some what?
came, some internet. You know how they go door to door. These companies. It's a company. Optimum, AT&T have knocked on my door before. Direct TV have knocked on my door before. Maybe they don't do that in Houston.
Yes, they do.
Okay. Cause you was looking
Everybody
like
knock
you
on
was
my door. I
puzzled.
just don't answer it.
See, let me tell you how she caught me. She ain't knock. I was already outside, girl. I was outside in the garden trying to hurry up because I'm like, I ain't got but a few minutes. I need to get in here and get what Aisha. Girl, she come talking to me. She want to talk to me about her whole life. And I'm like, okay, well, yeah, ma'am, I don't need no internet. I got to go. I'm about to go get on the internet right now.
Yeah.
And she's steadily talking. Yeah, and my son and my ex-husband and my ma'am, I don't need to know your life story. And so I was
And
racing.
see, my problem is I'm always at home. I work from home. I homeschool. I'm not always at home. Like homeschooling is a
But
lot more busy and
that's your home
moving
base.
about. But I tell people like first I would answer the door, but they don't take no for an answer. You know me, I try to be very HR friendly with it. And it's like they don't understand that. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Like I cook from home, I work from home, I'm growing food. Like I'm at work. I don't bother you at work. Okay. And you knocking on my door is bothering me at work. Even though I'm home, I'm always at work. I make jewelry here. Like, leave me alone. If I
Yes.
didn't call you, I don't feel like I have to answer the door. So now we just don't answer the door. Like
And
I
my
guess
thing
you'll
is, if I need some internet, I think I know how to figure out how to get some.
I'ma call you. I'ma
Because when I
call
got my
you.
internet set up, I had to call. I had to call.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
So
how's
I
your
can't
morning?
see comments in StreamYard.
What
So
I do is I
you will
put
have to make sure you pay attention to them.
I'm about to put YouTube on my TV or something on my phone. That's probably what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it on my phone. Um,
Oh, I can do that too. I can put it
or
on
you
my
can put it
computer.
put it on your computer if you got your
Yep, I'm
computer.
about to do that now. I
Yeah.
can barely hear you though. I don't know if it's my phone.
I'm finna ask them. Nobody said that they can't hear you, but I'm finna ask.
Okay.
I'm about to ask right now because I'm about to go on my phone and go to the live. Doo-doo-doo. So how's everybody doing this morning? And y'all, if anybody wants to join the live, um, just let me know because that's why we're doing StreamYard this time
Ooh.
because Army Chickadee made a good point and she said um that it would be nice if people could
Join.
join or ask questions. And if you don't want your camera to show, you don't have to show camera, you can just do mic. So because I understand, sometimes your hair ain't calm, whatever it is, you may not want to.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah, that's the
Can I
only
do a
reason I'm
background
doing it.
picture?
That's the only reason I'm doing it this way on StreamYard. Say something.
Me?
Oh yeah, you good, they can hear you.
Okay, I see a comment now that says, "Can you boost
Yeah,
your
girl,
volume a
Lynn gonna
bit?"
get me together. She say my volume low. Let me see.
Okay, yeah, I see. Hey, y'all.
And I don't never know why it's always my volume. Why
I
it's I
feel like
it's
it is and it's not. Like it's your volume, and then towards the fourth hour, I start the echoing for some reason. Can I do a background on here? I like the backgrounds, but this is
yeah,
new. I
you
don't want to
can
miss.
go to the settings and then you will see virtual background and then you can add stuff or you can just blur your background, which that's probably what I'm gonna do for mine because them
Look, it's
bricks
a
was working my
camera.
nerve. bricks. Them bricks was tearing me down. And you
Oh,
can
this
even
a
pick
chat
if you got
too.
pictures on your computer. You see in the settings. You see it. So how is everybody doing out? Is my volume any better, Lynn?
My settings say camera and audio, but that's okay.
That's
You know
all
me,
it
I'm in a quiet room in case the kids start the. I tried to go
says.
outside, but somebody was cutting their grass, so
In case they start cutting up and you have to start cussing.
I was like, let me stay in the quiet area. I got my sign on the door.
You got
Slightly, but you're not as
girl, you got a
powerful.
sign on the door like you
I'm live.
somebody did. Who said powerful? That ain't you know what, Lynn. Did you have to use powerful?
We gonna get it together.
Let me go back to audio. Oh, you know what it might be. I think I had turned my mic down a long time ago. And I probably need to turn it back up. Because you know you can turn the gain
Mm-hmm.
up and down on your microphone. Technology people. I ain't got no IT people.
Look, you see me, I'm patient. I'm like here for support. Like, probably that. Probably maybe it's that. Like I'll just have to wait for you because I'm not even the IT person in my house.
How now, brown cow? Am I more powerful?
Yeah, for me you are. Good afternoon. OCD is
Child.
chick. Slightly.
Hey,
Oh no, that was
OCDH.
the
Hey,
old.
GS form.
You're not that
I'm
loud
turning
for
the
me. They
gain up.
saying
I'm
a little
turning
bit,
it up.
yes. So I think good enough. I don't know. Turn your mic all the way up. It's like you're talking
Hello,
from a distance.
that's what we doing. And I ain't. They talking about DVD quality. I mean, I want DVD quality.
Who said that? The computer?
That's what it say on my computer. Talking about DVD quality.
Mm. But we passed that these days.
No, don't do that. Wait a minute. Let me tell you, some of this stuff though, real talk. I see why now when people would go live on StreamYard, why sometimes they will be struggling because some of
Yeah,
this stuff is
I'm following you, so I've never been on
some of
StreamYard
this stuff
before.
is it's not intuitive.
Oh, and it's hard for me to hear. I can't like put the phone down and hear you because
Hold
it's just like
on,
low.
I'm working on it. But this is pitiful.
Well, that's okay. Well, thank y'all for joining. How y'all doing this fine Saturday? It's actually beautiful in Houston. Well, I ain't gonna speak for all of Houston because Houston be doing the most. But where I am, it's quite lovely.
Jesus,
That's why somebody's cutting their grass because it's been raining, 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 raining. Even my quail didn't lay for a few days. Well, two of my quail didn't lay for a few days. I was like, come on, sunlight. Now, wait a minute. Now, hold on. So,
that's funny.
it's a nice day today. I hope y'all are having a nice day as well. Somebody said my volume is good. I can hear Aisha fine. Hi, everyone. Hi.
I'm starting to wonder if
Eva. You're good to go. Maybe it will resolve itself over time. Both coming in good on my side. Every day in Houston, Jan. Every day. Every day. You don't never know. And then
Huh.
they want to fire the weatherman. The weatherman was struggling in the first place.
Y'all don't need to fire nobody regarding weather in Texas.
Listen, we got to go back. If you black in Texas, you know you was just going outside to see how the day was gonna be anyway. That's what we used to do growing up. Excuse me.
Hey,
I really
Casey.
started watching the weather more when I started growing food, just to let me know, like, do I think I need to water or not? But even then, sometimes I had to be like, damn, now I got to run out of water because the weatherman told me it was gonna rain and it didn't rain. You know, you can't trust him.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Can't
So
trust you.
yeah, it's a struggle. It is a struggle. Okay,
So
I
Aisha,
think your sound is good to go. They say.
I hope so. I hope so. Y'all know I got to save them watermelon seeds. I can't let them go. I may
I was
have to
gonna say,
plant
did you
them.
get that watermelon at the farmer's market this morning?
I did. I did.
It's
The
beautiful.
lady
It's
was so
lovely.
sweet. She say her husband picked them, and she say her husband go by that tendril, and she said she don't go by that tendril, and she said I don't trust them melons. She said they may not be ready. She said $4 a piece, and I said okay, give me two of them. And she said, you know what? I'm gonna throw in an extra one because I really don't trust my husband. And he said the melons. She said she go by how round it is. I've never heard of that, but I told her about my technique. I said when that stem starts to brown, I said, but that don't always work. You have to kind of watch it. Your mileage may vary. And she said, yeah, I feel that way too. Because when I pick mine, it is starting to brown. She said, but my husband keep going by that tendra and the melons, only the middle be good. But this melon is sweet. It's good.
It looks
I don't know
good,
how
and
red
not.
it
I'm
looks,
gonna
but
need
it's good.
her to publicly support hubby, okay? And then probably be like, babe, now you know I done told you to wait just a little longer. You know.
If it's any consolation, it was a white lady. I mean, the
No
sentiment still
comment.
carries, but it was a white lady. So I wasn't gonna take up on him. If it had been
Okay,
a
I feel
brother,
that.
if it had been a brother, I'd have said, "Don't rake my cousin over the coals like that. That's out of order.
No, for real.
That's out of order." But since hey, that lady want to rake her husband, rake him. Hell, well, because guess what? I was in the minority at the farmers market. She doing this in front of all of her cousins, and ain't none of them said nothing.
I know that's real.
Hmm.
The watermelon look good though, and it still
It's
got
sweet.
seeds in it. It's hard.
It's
Is it hard for y'all to find? Comment below, Diva, in your area. Is it hard for you to find seeded watermelon? In a grocery store, I can't hardly ever find a seeded watermelon. And then I'll get excited when it says something like Black Diamond. I'll be like, ooh, that sound, heirloom or something. Girl, I get
mhm.
that watermelon. It don't be no seeds in it. I'll be so mad. It is so hard to find
Here,
seeded watermelon unless you stop on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? You know somebody on the side of the road got it in the back of the truck or whatever. Or if you frequent the farmers markets a lot, which we do. But just like people who normally just shop in the grocery store, are you guys seeing seeded watermelons or seeded grapes? Because I'm not finding them. Oh,
here,
we got a lot of comments.
so here they talking about the weather. They talking about all kind of stuff. Yeah, Janet, I water too. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Janet. Janet, look who it is, Janet. Ow, Felix. Good. Ow. Okay, he not doing
He
right.
said no cameras, please.
He not doing right. He was
He said he
scratching
did
the
not agree to go live.
oh, he was scratching the shit out of me. I did that because Janet, when the cats, okay, Suzette, Janet, and a couple other people, when the cats don't show up, where the cats at? Where we need to see the cats? Where are the cats?
You
Clearly.
just want to make sure they know they still kicking, huh?
But here, when it comes to watermelons, so we have what I call country grocery stores. So you have your main chains, Kroger's, HEB, Alberts, just whatever you might have, Ralph's, whatever you got in your area. And then we like smaller grocery stores. That's the grocery stores where you can go still find fat back and all that kind of stuff that you can't find nowhere else. When you go there, you can find the seeded watermelons, that and on the side of the road. You can find seeded in your regular stores, Walmart's, Kroger, whatever you may have, HEB. Yeah, it's I mean, Walmart have some seeded watermelons, but this how you know they barely have them. When they get them, they sell out real fast. And those seedless
I can't speak for
still be
Walmart
on the shelf.
because I
So
never go to Walmart,
it's
but
harder.
HEB is my best bet in
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
HEB is the best bet. Kroger's.
I like HEB as a grocery store. I do.
Yeah, I love HEB. I feel like Texans really love HEB, but we should
Do
because
y'all
it's for us.
do Houston have Central Market? That's a HEB
Um.
store. So Dallas got it's a HEB. It's owned by HEB, but it's called Central Market. It's called the Central Market by HEB. And what it is it's HEB, but it's a little bit more upscale. Think kind of let me not say upscale. Think Whole Foods. So it's a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
more. They kind of cater to that natural market. A little more local produce too. They get stuff from
Mm.
farmers, but it's that. So I really love that HEB, but I like HEB overall. It
I can't
reminds me
say
of
we don't
Sprouts
have
too. If
that, but I
anybody is
haven't been.
familiar with Sprouts, it reminds me of Sprouts. If you have, because
Okay,
Dallas has
yeah, we have
Sprouts as
Sprouts.
well.
I
Yeah,
used to
so it
frequent
reminds me of that.
Sprouts.
Girl, yeah, I ain't got no water. Well, I got a couple of little watermelon seeds, so I'm saving these seeds, honey. I ain't letting these
Janet
go.
says Houston does have Central Market. That's why I didn't say no. I said I
Okay,
can't say we don't have it, but I haven't
okay.
been. So I'll have to check it out.
Janet, then you moved. So when you in Florida, but you moved. Am I remembering right, Janet? Janet, a long time watcher. She been watching me for a long time. I don't even know how she's still watching.
What that mean? You
Child,
always doing something.
I
I
get
feel
tired
like
of
the
my
garden,
own.
if you have content that's real, the garden is always doing something different.
Girl, I get tired of my own damn self. I don't know how they watch.
And we wait on your videos, so don't get
I
tired.
know. I got a video coming out tomorrow morning. Since I decided to go live today, I didn't want to work the people to death, be on YouTube all day long.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
So what else
Aisha,
did you get at the farmers market? Did you already
I
go
just
over that when I was trying to
I
come
just
in?
I just got watermelon. That's all I got. But my homie that garden too, he got the lady makes pickles too. He got pickles, he got pickled okra, he got I want to say banana peppers. And what else did
Mm,
he get? He got some squash. He got some squash.
okay.
But he has a garden of his own, so he didn't have to buy a lot because he grows onions, he grows loofah, he grows beans. This is his first year growing peppers, so he got seeds from me, so he can grow peppers. He grows a lot of flowers. He grows zinnias and marigolds, and he grows all kind of flowers. But it's really nice
Okay.
because his yard is smaller than mine, but he makes it jump out in his little yard.
I know that's
Okay,
right.
so yeah, your kids moved. I didn't. I knew you said you was going to Texas. I didn't know what part. So you going to Houston? Well, Aisha, you got you another babysitter. Janet will watch your kids. Look, I'm signing Janet up. Janet will watch your kids.
We adopt folks
Janet,
over
did
here. We
you
do
did you
adopt
bring
family
your
members.
Janet? Didn't you tell me you had a cat? Did you bring it to Houston, or did you leave him in Florida? I hope you didn't leave him down there with Ron. The shit is. I hope you didn't leave that cat down there with Ron. You know I have
I
names for
don't
these
know if the cat want to come down here with Ted either.
with Hot
Okay.
Wheels. With Hot Wheels. You know that's what I call Greg Rabbit. Hot Wheels. Have to go to farmers market side of the road. Oh, okay. I haven't seen seated in years. NYM, where you live at? You live in New Jersey. That's CSA
Seeded
in
grapes in
Jersey.
years, dang. That's what
Oh,
I'm
seeded
saying. It's a
grapes. I
struggle
need to
out
read.
here. And then
Uh,
I heard that they can put a peel on organic fruits and vegetables in the store now.
they can put what on them?
A peel, you know, the like it's like the fruit coating or whatever that Bill Gates
Oh,
has.
see, I'm so out of the loop. They can do that. What they
You
doing
like,
that
I
for?
just eat fruits and vegetables out of my own garden. I don't know what the world be doing.
But what is that for? To protect it? To protect you, me, to kill somebody?
Um,
What is it for?
I guess it's supposedly to keep the fruit fresher longer. Don't get me the line. I'm not gonna lie. I don't
Oh,
really too much go deep into
okay.
what I
Yeah.
haven't I've yet to believe deeply in anything that he has created or started. And so
Is this something
people
Hot
would have to do
Wheels?
their own research on it, but it's definitely not somebody that I trust to touch my food. Um so
Oh, okay. Mm.
she said
Yeah,
she
I'm
brought her
not.
cat. She did not leave her baby in Florida.
Well, you see Felix Cloud, the dog snot out of me. So I'm about to send him to Florida.
So you need to send him to
Janet, you want
Texas
another
now
cat?
to be with Janet.
Janet, you want another cat? You can have him. So Aisha, I meant to ask you, um, did you get through with your canning? Because I know you was canning.
I didn't even start that canning. I was supposed to can broth.
Mm-hmm.
And when I messaged you that I was going to put it in the crock pot, so I put it in the crock pot and
Mm-hmm.
let it go for like 12 to 24 hours. And then I put it in the fridge and chill it and can it the next day. Child, I
So
ain't
they
start that first process. So I'm about to start the first process now. I'm a can. Probably
so
tomorrow, Monday morning.
so I ran into a friend at the farmer's market and I didn't know this. They sell the beef bones at the farmer's market, the big ones, the femurs.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what somebody I ran into at the farmer's market. They bought some bones. They going home to make them some beef broth.
Mm-hmm. Once I learned how to make broth, it changed my life. I
Yeah,
ain't
because you
bought
don't have to
broth
buy it.
in years.
Yeah, you don't have to buy it.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it's so funny. Like, once you start learning things, it's like I've been throwing away so much food, but all you can do is get better, right?
Hmm. So last night, I had no business. I got invited out to dinner. I ain't gonna say these is my friends, they associates. Like one, two of them was my friends, but all the rest I just kind of casually know them, and that's why I say associates. But one girl, the same one that came to tour my garden this morning, her and her husband, child, she just as clueless as the day is long. But she was like, "Can I put my grass clippings in my compost?" Girl, she had been paying somebody to haul her grass clippings away. I said, "Girl, yeah, you can put that in your compost." I said, "Girl, I don't let nothing leave my house." I said, "I compost Amazon." She was like, "Well, I don't put none of my boxes in there." I said, "Why?" I put them in the recycle because we have with the city trash, we have recycle too.
Oh, wish we had that. That'd be great.
But I told her, I say, "Well, I put aluminum cans and stuff in the recycle or glass." I said, "But that cardboard, I mean, you can put it in there, but no, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ma'am." She said, "Oh," I said, "Girl, more power to you. Do what you want to do." I said, "But I recycle junk mail, sale papers, boxes. If it's paper material,"
It's going in the garden.
I said, "because," and she round there buying. I said, "You buying soil, you letting the city take that compostable stuff, compost it, and sell it back to you because that we don't have free compost here. I wish we did. We can't do that where you go to
Oh.
the city and get free. You got to pay for that."
Mm-hmm.
And I refuse to pay for it. So
Make it
I'm
on your
like,
own or something.
girl, and she po thing, she learning though. She learning po thing. It's just I can tell she grew up. You ever met somebody you can just kind of tell they grew up with a little money?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell. Just the stuff she say. You can just tell she grew up as a woman, not having to do anything. The men did
Mm-hmm.
everything. She laid back with her feet up, and people fed her grapes and fanned her as a child. As a child, not an adult, a child. They was fanning her. So, child, she learned a lot. I wish you could have seen a child. She said, "I'm gonna sit by you. Don't sit by me, honey."
Oh, you changed her life.
Girl, she trying it.
Okay, we
That's
got a.
elite.
Oh, thank you. Chuck Weezy posted a link.
Oh, and I forgot I made
It's
when
a
I
link
tell
that's
you I
describing
made
appeal and its uses. I'd
when I tell
avoid it
you
whenever possible. Yeah, me too.
I made her a moderator so long ago, I forgot that she was a moderator. Um, yeah, she had the goods. Chuck Weezy be on it, but yeah, I I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, I
When I
mean,
see weird stuff in the store, I'm like my granny. I'm getting more and more. I'm becoming because my granny didn't trust fast food. She didn't. It was so many things she didn't trust. And when I see it, I'm like, I don't know what that is. And my friend be really trying to figure out what it is. I said, girl, I ain't got time to try to. I'm not trying to figure out what that is. I need to go to what I know because I read about that later. I don't have time.
yeah.
I'm
It
in the
sucks
store.
though
I'm trying to
because
shop.
they like to hide stuff in labels and things. Like if you thinking organic, well, and even our gardens are as organic as they can be, right? With what we
Yeah,
can
it's
control.
when I
But
was on.
um organic for bigger companies, they allow a lot more stuff than we think they do, and they still call it organic, and it's like, man, we wish we could just go and trust and pick up some food,
Did
but
you happen to see Georgia Peach Nut? She had a video recently where she went to Alabama and the guy was discussing what's organic and what's not. So the US government has like a patent on the word organic or whatever. And like you say, basically, when these things say that they're organic, what that farmer has done is he has paid the federal government to allow them to say that it's organic. They're supposed to abide by certain rules, but like you said, they allow them to do so many things that you would think is not allowable. Like so many people think it's organic, they don't spray it. Ain't wrong. Yes, they do.
right.
They can spray it up to usually how it works. They can spray it up to a certain point. So they can spray the hell out of it all the way up until 30 days before harvest or 15 days before harvest. So that stuff has been basting in whatever for
It has
months.
absorbed that already.
And then 15 days before they gonna pluck it, they can, that's usually how it is, or it's something like this. So I just want people to know that like I said, you're forced to trust whatever. But I will say this, even though I'm not 100, because like I can't say, I don't this year I haven't used any chemical pesticide like the 7. I haven't used any this year. I have used BT and I have used my kale and clay. And I have used that's it.
Which those two are natural, right? BT is natural.
Yeah, and the kale
And
and
Kale and
clay is
Clay is natural
considered.
too.
Yes, that's the. I haven't used anything chemical based this year at all. I did use fruit tree spray, but the fruit tree spray that I use is simply mineral oil and dishwashing liquid, and you just spray your tree. You spray it before it even fruits or flowers, and it's just a coating that's on the tree. And it's food grade mineral oil. It's not, and your fruit isn't even on the tree. That's just to deter those bugs from laying, under the bark. That's all it does
Hmm.
for you. But, and I sprayed that way in January, so I hadn't sprayed anything else. But at least if I had to use the 7, I know, okay, well, I only used it once or I used it twice the whole growing season. I can't say that for the grocery store.
Yeah, I mean, I think being in any way conscious of what you're putting on your garden in your garden is better than what the grocery store is doing right now. Like we're assuming because somebody provides a thing, because somebody provides healthcare, because somebody provides food, that they are trying to provide us with the best healthcare and the best food. And that's what we would do in that position, but that's not what is the reality, you know? So it's like we're doing the best we can to protect the food that we're able to grow in our spaces. And like, we're not going to judge ourselves for that. And
No.
we're also going to find ways that make us feel good. Organza bags is probably my number one, and I be drowning stuff, but I'm home a lot. You know, every day I check my garden.
Honey, when I tell you I was out there with them figs yesterday, organza bag and just going to town because I found a fig. Look, your birds and my birds must have had a conference call because you showed your feed. And the next morning I went out there and I had a peck out of my. I said, "Oh no, let me get my organza bags." And I know better. I know better. They got one. They got me for one. They won't get another.
At least you knew what it was. I didn't even know. I was like, who out here eating my stuff?
Yeah,
They
a
knew
bird.
my
They
figs
go.
were turning right before I did.
Yeah, they know. I don't know. It's so nature is just that way. I don't know if they can smell it. I don't know what it is, but they know. But yeah, that was a bird beat. They go right in there and pick. They pick your stuff. They don't care, and they
I
just pick. And
started picking them early now.
it makes me mad because they pick one and then go to another one and then go to another one and go. And it's like,
Don't
why
eat
do
the
you
whole
eat?
thing.
You could stay on this one. Can you stay on this one? You
Girl, I
keep
be trying
going
to leave
all
it.
up.
Like if you come back tomorrow, can you come get the leftovers from that one you ate yesterday? But they don't
Exactly.
really. I don't think they follow that.
No, they look for a new one. They bougie. They wrong. They just like they eat the heart out of the fig and then the rest of it they don't want. Because if you notice, they pick right to the middle.
Mhm.
But that's crazy.
Mhm.
So, do you have any new advancements in the garden?
Uh,
I don't.
no, not really. I haven't been able to be out there because it's so rainy. Um,
Well, can you tell them to send some of it my way? We got rain the day
I
before
wish I could
yesterday.
because my roselle, I think it's dead, sis. I think that the one in the bed is just can't get no relief from the wet feet. Like it's so tired. I do have one in the pot and it's beautiful, but y'all, you know how I had one last year, so I'm gonna
Yeah,
plant another seed. I'm gonna
yeah.
wait until some of this passes, and I'm gonna see how big I can get one right there because it's a struggle. We eating the quail, which is a blast.
I saw the soup when you posted the soup. Yeah.
The kids love it.
Girl,
I
I'm
love
gonna
it.
need you. I'm gonna need you to roast one of them quails or something. I'm dying. I'm look. I be when you show the quail and stuff. I be like, ooh. I be coming up with recipes in my mind. Like, ooh,
Well,
she
send
should
them to
fry.
me.
She should fry them little legs. That look like the perfect bite sized leg. And then she
I'm
said,
frying them next time, and
yeah.
then my daughter wants to put them in a stew.
Yeah, and let me ask our resident chef, Chuck Weezy. Do you have any quail recipes? I'm sure
Cause
she do.
I'm new. That soup was my first one, and I pretty much just made it like how I do
What did you put
chicken.
in it other than the quail? I saw the herbs and stuff. What you put in it?
There was garlic, oregano, rosemary, basil, parsley from the garden, and then potatoes, the quail, um,
Ooh,
coconut milk from Azure Standard, and then I just had some carrot tops that I didn't have enough to want to freeze them or do nothing. I threw them carrot tops in there, chopped them and threw them in there,
yeah.
and then some kale from the garden.
Chuck Weezy
And
say,
I just seasoned it. I was so hyped because I had some turmeric. I finally, you know, you get them big old bottles of seasoning or whatever. I finally ran out. I've been waiting to run out so I could bust out my dry turmeric that I grew, baby. You should have seen me blending my little turmeric up. So I put some turmeric in there It was busting. It was so good.
Yeah, Chuck Weezy said if you stuff the quail, they would be delicious.
Ooh, okay, stuffed, and then I need to fry them too. I'm in the groups. We be sharing stuff too. Somebody had theirs look like they was smothered in some barbecue sauce last night. I was like, "Oh, them quail look good." But
Yeah.
some other people say they like to fry them. Some people like to leave the head on and fry them, and they eat the whole thing.
Oh, that
They say it's
oh,
crunchy, girl.
oh. But I'm saying that like that. But my grandparents were when my great grandmother especially would go fishing. She really liked her fish whole. She would gut it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way she liked it. She wanted it whole. She would scale it, gut it, and she would even leave the head on. And my great grandmother used to eat those fins. She would fry it hard enough where you could eat
Oh,
the
I love
fin.
it. Yeah, the fins be
Yeah.
good.
And she would be
Yeah.
crunching. I remember she'd be crunching them
I
fins.
never
I'd be
ate
like,
whole
Grandma,
fish until I started dating my husband in
really?
college. What? Yeah, and then
When I
his.
was a kid, I didn't like it because you have to slow down, because you have to eat around the bones. I didn't like it as a kid, but as an adult, I think I've learned how to savor food a little better. Because as a
Yeah,
kid,
me
you just
too. I feel
inhale
like
stuff.
I just didn't see a lot of fish with the head still on there as a kid. Like I just
Yeah.
wasn't as familiar until I
The only
started going
time
to
I saw
mommy
that
house.
is the only time I saw that is when grandma caught her own fish. That was the only time. I never, because my mother didn't even care for it. My mother liked fillet and nuggets. That's what she liked. She
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to eat around nothing, and so when I was a kid and I used to eat so fast, I would just inhale stuff. So I didn't like them bones either, because fish bones, you gotta
Yeah,
slow down or you'll choke the hell
I'm
out of
too
yourself.
hungry for bones.
Yeah, yeah. When I was a kid, and my mama, like, she said, "Girl, slow down. This whole fish, them bones get stuck in your throat. I ain't taking you to the doctor. I'm just gonna beat your back until you cough them up." So
Right?
yeah,
Don't
so
choke yourself.
but yeah, I didn't see fish with heads on other than my grandma.
Fishing
That
is
was the
another skill that I want to spruce up on. I don't do it a lot. But I have a cousin and he's just like my grandpa. And he's since divorced, but at one point in time between him and his wife, they had 8 kids. And
wow.
I used to be like, bruh, how is my cousin taking care of all these kids? And
Fish,
he looks so
honey.
stress free. But my cousin has always grown his food, just like my grandpa. He goes fishing at least once a month. His kids know how to fish. Sometimes he'd be
Where
like, the kids and outfished me. And he does it seriously where he puts the fish in his freezer, And so like I'm feeling like fishing is definitely one on my list that I need to get better at and more consistent at, where I can catch like good fresh fish and fillet that thing or whatever.
where does he live? Does he live in Houston?
He lives in Missouri. He
Okay,
lives in
okay.
Hannibal, Missouri, where my mom is from.
Oh, okay. Not Hannibal.
Hmm.
Hannibal
I'm
the
like,
cow.
baby, your kids is they doing great. They looking strong and happy and healthy and fed.
That's
They
good.
got
That's good.
skills. They
That's
don't look as
good.
expensive as mine.
You got them high dollar kids, them high dollar children, them high dollar children. That's
We
all right.
working on it.
You make their jewelry. That's why they look. That's why they look like that.
You know
They
what? My husband told me yesterday. He said, "Have you seen Mia's house on Minecraft?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "You walk through a forest to a glass house." He was like, wall to wall windows. Like he was like, "You gotta see it." Like the furniture. Like he was like, "Baby, my baby. If she gonna build her a house, honey, it's gonna be a house, okay?"
Oh,
But I
I didn't know
actually
that.
like that about them.
Did you know Hannibal is? I guess that's where Mark Twain is from, or
Yes,
around
and
that
they do
area.
fish a lot there. Yeah. Hey, Chuck Weezy, thank you for the
Yeah,
history.
Chuck Weezy from Missouri. She doesn't live in
Okay.
Missouri, but she's from there.
Yeah, my mom is from Hannibal, and I have a lot of aunties and stuff in St. Louis. So,
Uh-oh. Chuck Weezy,
well,
y'all might be kin. Y'all might. What's
right?
up? Look, now we finna cut up. David done showed up. David.
David Corey with crop. Okay. What's up?
David is up in Dallas, honey.
Oh, you from
Well,
STL? Okay, you
somewhere
probably
in the
know some of my
DFW.
family members.
Yeah, he grew. You should have seen that kush out he grew. He grew a great big old kush out. It was huge.
Oh, I want to try Kush out. I think I got some seeds from Homestead Heart, and I just haven't planted them yet. Because my issue is always finding somewhere to put
Two plant
everything.
them. Yeah. You know what, David? I don't know, David. How big is that spot where you got that kush out at? Is it because it don't his space don't look, but looks of the season. It may be a
Yeah.
big space, but it don't look too foolish. It's not like when you look at Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead and she show her squash and it's like fields and it's not like that.
Because you
But
see what I tried, my poor squash, I tried to grow mine on a trellis and it was doing great, but the squash vine board, like if it hits it anywhere, the whole plant is gone if it's not running on the ground.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm actually trying again, and I'll let you guys know, in my videos how it's going. I left 2 of them there now, and then they're gonna kind of crawl. So we'll see if we get some
Because I'm
squash.
trying to see how David got away with child. It don't look like he covered or sprayed nothing. Ain't no vine boards got his stuff. I'm trying to understand what is he doing.
Because
Or
I'm
the
like, I
vine
can't
board.
throw tool over my whole arch for, for my squash to grow.
Oh, he said it is big. He says growing up his nectarine tree.
Oh.
I did see that he was using that tree as like a living trellis. I did see that.
Maybe I should grow something up my peach tree.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
one that's in the ground, that's a big
Because
old
I
tree
use
too.
I use my pear tree as a trellis for the yams.
Mm. We
But I'm
tried to grow
still trying.
yams in mommy's yard one time, but the butternut squash and the sweet potatoes took over. We be having everything in that big old one, the biggest bed,
Well,
child. And then mommy, she the composting place queen because she just gonna throw it on top. And stuff just gonna grow. I be like, mommy, what is this coming out the girl? It's already a pepper growing right here. We can't grow everything in the same. Like some of these seeds, girl, you can't just throw right here. You,
she
you
said,
have to
she said,
filter it a little
She
bit.
said, I'm keeping it real simple. We're gonna plant everything here. We're gonna compost everything here, and
Right here.
it's gonna grow.
Baby, organization, what is that?
She
A
need her
garden
own.
plan. Who? What?
She need her own show. She
Girl, I
seemed
be
like
over there
she
with
was
my journal.
hilarious.
Well, I used to be. I used to be over there with the journal. Like, mommy, look, we already
Yeah,
got this planted right here.
yeah, because you done already said she sprayed and run you from over there. Did she spray this year, or you just
I
say
don't
I ain't got
know.
time for it?
I wouldn't. I would not know. Maybe I can call her son back in here. He can tell y'all what's going on in the garden. I have no idea, but bless it.
Girl.
I just started stepping back out there the other day. Okay, I can tell you that my guava's still alive. They had sugar cane, sweet
How was the
potato
sugar?
still going.
How was the sugar cane? Was it? Have you tasted it yet,
I
or?
didn't have any sugar cane. I'm not sure. Whenever they harvested the sugar cane, I heard it was
Well, I
everything.
found it interesting before when you was kind of tending that before, how you would be like, yeah, somebody done come out here and cut this, and somebody done harvested this, and that. I used to get so tickled. I'd be tickled because you'd be like, okay, well, where did something? Okay, but they can't do that. They can't.
I just, mommy freed me. Okay, she freed me. I must needed to put that energy
Somewhere else. Girl.
somewhere else where it would better serve me and be more
Oh my.
appreciated, child.
Oh my
But every
God.
once in a while, like I did get those grapes. I
Yeah.
just now started accepting things from the garden again, and just like I just pray over it, I guess, And
Yeah.
that's the thing when you sharing somebody else's land, because I was clear about that it's your choice to do what you please with your
Mhm.
land.
Yeah.
Just know that my reaction will still be true to what
Yeah.
I believe and why I'm here, and what I was trying to do here. and how
Yeah.
important I guess it is to you for me to be here because I'm clearly expressing. But when you're sharing someone else's space, like you have to allow them the space to do what they feel is best. And when you express how you feel or what's important to you, let their response let you know how important that relationship or situation is, baby, and keep going.
I feel you can't beat somebody over the head about, it is what it is.
Baby, when stuff start dying and stuff, start wilting and stuff, don't be, oh, what's going on? Oh, I don't.
You know what? And I'm not finna play with you in this accent either. I'm not finna play with you. I'm not finna play with
I
you in
don't
this
know. I can't
accent.
tell.
I don't know
I
what
can't.
happened. I don't know what
I'm
happened.
not sure. I'm not. I'm no longer the keeper of.
Well, I'm sure if don't nothing else grow, that ugu gonna grow because that stuff, it don't require no care. That must be a weed, basically. Like, cause it didn't need water. It did don't nothing eat it
I think
except
we
for
had
the
the perfect
human.
climate for that.
But you know what I didn't know about, and I think ugu is a type of bitter leaf, I think. But I didn't know that you could take that stuff and you can get some of the bitterness out of it. I didn't know that.
Oh yes. Okay.
They
So,
say, cause see, I thought they was just cooking. They say it depend on the person. They say some people like it more bitter than others, and they
but
take that
I've
stuff
never
and
met a
can
person that
rain.
didn't wash it some. I've never met a person that didn't wash it at
Yeah,
least
yeah,
some. And mommy washes it like multiple washes.
yeah. And
Yeah. So you're not
I'm gonna tell
eating
you,
the straight bitter off the plant.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you who showed how to do it, and that's why I like her channel so much. Kareem's Homestead. Kareem showed how to do it, and she got her some bowls, put some water, and she was because she said she had to. She did several. She
Yeah,
was
you
really
scrub it
washing it
like
and wringing
laundry.
it out, and then she pour that water off and get some more water and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
I said this is too much like work, so you have to exercise before you can eat. I said, shoot, no wonder they be in good shape. All this work they doing. Then she
Yeah.
get some cassava and be beating it and making the fufu and stuff like that. I said, oh Lord, have mercy, all this work you doing. But the food be
But you
looking
know
good.
what? Have you seen that show? I think it's called Blue Zones on Netflix.
I haven't seen it.
And it's about centurions. So like it's about places where people live past 100 a lot
Uh-huh,
on
uh-huh,
average.
uh-huh.
And one of the things that they had in common was like natural forms of working out and growing their own food, making their own wine and all the things. So it's not just like the healthy food,
Yeah.
but it's the process of having to grow it and bending down and hauling soil and you
Scooping
know what I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
And doing your
Yeah.
squats in the garden all
Yeah.
the time while you picking the food. And it was like, there was one place where it was very hilly and they walked everywhere. So they were always, you know
Oh
what I'm
wow.
saying, working them calf muscles and getting that
Yeah.
cardio in. And so it is a lot of work, but then it's like, it's working for you, you know, it's like good for you
Yeah.
at the same time.
Definitely.
I feel the same
Definitely.
way about gardening. I feel like our people kind of run away from gardening, that they feel like it's a lot of hard work. And I'm like, I'd rather work this hard for myself
Definitely.
and
Because and
know what I'm
I'm gonna
eating and
tell
know
you
what
like
I'm getting.
this.
I've been eating figs every day. I'll work for
That's
that. I'm good.
that's wonderful. I will too. Figs are addictive. They're
They
very
are.
addictive. But
Now I need to
I
get
feel
mine in the
I
ground
feel
so
the
it can get
same
big.
way. I think some of the people like have you ever seen this certain content creators by the time June and July come, their garden be burned up every year. Burn up. That's I already know what that is. You ain't gonna say what but I know what that is. You getting lazy. You getting lazy.
It's definitely a lifestyle. Like it's a lifestyle. So it's not something that stops and starts. Even us going on a trip when we went to Nigeria, I was like, "Bruh, you got to learn how to do some irrigation or something." Like I'd be doggone if I come back and my entire garden is dead because we
Yeah.
took a trip. Like
Yeah.
not on my hard
Definitely.
work.
Yeah, because
So it really
you
is has to
throwing your hard
be
work away.
ongoing if you're gonna keep
Yeah.
it. And I noticed that a lot of people started growing during COVID, and not as many people are growing now. It's like I don't know what the reasons were that started them, but I have the same reasons because I
Panic,
started growing during COVID. And I'm
panic.
like, those reasons didn't go away. I think it was like a switch that will never go back off, realizing how dependent, you know, I was and how much they don't care in the times that we need. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Have you
I
noticed
think,
that? You feel like
you
a lot of
know,
people are still gardening that started new?
you know what I think that is. America has an obsession and has had an obsession for a long time with fads, fad diets, fad exercise regimens. Fashion is stuff go in and out of fashion. All this little fad stuff, or as they say today, trending. What's trending? So gardening right after COVID was trending because people was in a panic. And real
Mm.
talk, they need to be in a panic now. Cause okay, keep on. Who gonna be picking this stuff? You see who they say they're gonna have picking it? The people on Medicaid. Okay. Okay,
I
keep
heard that,
going.
but you know what? Rump said he said they gonna grab him off the farms and then send him back under supervision. I could have passed out. I
Yeah,
said
yeah. He said
not.
he gonna make the farmers liable. He gonna make the people who own the farms liable for their workers. That's what slavery was. So in case people don't understand, you used to could rent your slaves to other people. Oh, Johnny down the street need so and so to do what? Oh, I got somebody up here that can do that. Here's your little pass. Going on down there to so and so, go do that and then be back by a certain time or whatever,
And
however.
also,
See
there's
that
no path to citizenship while you're
yeah,
doing that. So you were
that's
forever in that position. That is exactly what
that's our
slavery
day
is.
slavery back, but yeah, so the people need to be doing it now because we was talking today at the farmers market. That's, I believe, is going to cause a mutiny, because just follow me on this. I think somewhere some people probably think the majority of people on Medicaid or whatever, all of them is black. Is it some black people on it? Yeah. But it's, oh, I know plenty white folks on. When they start knocking on these people doors, okay, don't blow me up now. See how they do? This phone. I'm gonna put this phone on mute.
Because I'm like, baby, you is popular.
Too much is singing a song, singing a song.
Hey,
But
y'all. It's a
anyway,
lot of people saying, hey, peace, GT Junior grows,
hey
Alaska.
GT Junior,
Wow. I know it's a lot of skill you got to have to grow in Alaska.
and he good at it too. Have you watched his channel? He's really good at it.
Um, I don't think so, but I feel like I've seen the name pop up in another live before.
Yeah, yeah. He be sometimes he be in Georgia Peach Nuts. Sometimes he drop in a lot of different places. But yeah, he
Okay, I'm
pretty
gonna know
good.
now. I'm gonna be in there now.
Yeah, yeah. He from Georgia, but he live in Alaska. He been living in Alaska, I guess, for a little while now. Because ever since I've been seeing him, he been in Alaska. But yeah, because David has the channel. J3GS got a channel. But yeah, so I yeah, a lot of people are just so fickle. They get started with song, and they done with it. But see, gardening was already a lifestyle for me even before COVID. Now I ain't gonna lie, when COVID came, I took it up another notch. And every year I add, or something, I add something, whether it's a plant, whether it's a new planting area,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Every year I ramp it up some more and some more and some more. But yeah, I think it's very imperative. But yeah, I have noticed that, and I don't know what to
So
say
it
about
wasn't
it.
a lifestyle for me at all.
Nah, but then
Until
again,
COVID hit. But
understand.
I still feel like you. I feel like every year I plant more. Every year I try to learn more, whether it's like a homesteading skill, canning, or dehydrating, or whatever. Um, I'm doing that more and more every year, and I'm just like, where did half the people go?
Hmm.
Like, let's go, guys.
Girl, I think, but understand this: your thinking is also in the minority as far as the country too. Mine too. So many people just, I don't know, so many people are easily swayed by certain things. And like I said, it's a lot of little fickle stuff that don't mount up to a hill of beans. I've always been very obstinate and very stubborn. When I want something, I want it, especially if it's going to be good for me or
Mm-hmm.
good for my lifestyle or my mentality or whatever. And it's hard to get me to stop doing that stuff. So yeah, I started gardening because I'm fat and like to eat. But when the food started tasting good and my health got better, it was all of these side things. When your mental health gets better and all these different things, that's not even about the food at that point.
Yeah. I
That
started gardening because I thought my life depended on it. I was like,
I can
I
see
just
that.
felt like I could wake up one day and they
And
could
ain't no
tell me,
food.
if you don't do this thing, you can't go to the grocery store anymore. And I was
Hmm.
like, and I'm gonna want to stick it to them. And how I'm gonna do that if I don't have food in my house?
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna
yeah,
grow my own. I'll be fine. I'm gonna
yeah,
learn. It's
yeah,
okay. Like, I don't if you can control the food, you can control people, and I just don't wanna do things that I don't believe in, and I don't
yeah,
believe in forcing people to do things with their bodies that they don't believe in, and so that's really why, like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to take control," and just learning that I'm capable. I think that's one thing too, is like we really don't know that we're capable of so many things that we're capable of doing. And
society
once
now
you
does not
start, it's
push.
like you don't have to be perfect when you start. You're just supposed to start. Like you're just supposed
No,
to start
no.
learning and growing, and
Because
it's
last night
okay.
over dinner, we was talking about something, and I was talking about some little project that I'm doing in my house, and the girl was like, "So you just do it yourself? You don't call anyone?" I said, "I don't have time to be fooled with that. I need it done now. I don't have time to be fooled with calling. I got to wait, and I got to beg you to do right, and I got to pay you, and I no." And I got to tell you what I need. Guess what? I know what I need. I know what I want. Let me just do that. I don't have time to see. But see, that come from too. My granny was. If y'all had ever met her, she was a tiny woman. She was 5'4" maybe, and she might have weighed at her heaviest. She might have weighed 140 pounds. She was just a small woman, but she moved like lightning. Like, you know how lightning just come from the sky and in a flash is gone? That's the way she moved. She quickly would get you together. We don't have time for that. Move. But you have to understand, when she was younger, like I said, at a point in time in her life when she was a kid, she was sharecropping. You can't pick cotton slow because you're trying to make money for the. And it wasn't because she wanted to pick cotton as a kid. She needed to, because it's the Great
Yeah.
Depression. My parents don't have anything. We don't have it. Like, we got a little garden in our yard for food or whatever, but we need little money for whether it was sugar or meal or flour,
Yeah.
or I need a new Sunday dress. My granny only had two dresses as a kid. She had her everyday dress and her Sunday dress, and she had a two pair of shoes, her everyday shoes and her Sunday shoes. You get what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
and it was, I think, 4 or 5 of them as children. So, um, I'm saying all that to say, it's like so many people, they so used to calling people, but I was not really raised by people like that. My granny was slow to call people. Cause she'd be, I ain't got time for that, and she'd just do. She would just do.
And
It
that's
didn't matter
kind of
what it
how
was.
I am too. I get tired of asking and waiting and
And
I'm
begging
like,
and
I do
pleading
it
and plead, and
myself.
then you do it and it's done wrong, and you like, I could have did, if it was gonna be wrong, I could have did it wrong.
And I'm sort of in between. Like I don't mind paying for convenience sometime, but I feel like there's something to be said about knowing what it's supposed to look like. Even if I'm paying somebody to do it, it would be nice if I know what they're supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? Or how it's supposed to work when they're done, or whatever the case may be. Like just because you like to pay for things doesn't mean you can't also be knowledgeable about what it is that they're supposed to be doing. How much is it supposed to cost? People out here aren't always honest. when you call them to
You
work on
see,
your home or your car or whatever. And so having some type of knowledge about it can only help you. You know what I mean?
see, you
I don't
see,
know.
JT Junior's comment what he said about buying
When
his
to buy
home
his
and stuff, and
home.
he didn't want them to have so much control and stuff. And I can agree with that too. I had my home before COVID, but yes, I like I said, when COVID hit, I did feel at least a little bit more comfortable. Now I'm not crazy in this country, eminent domain. These MFs, you still have to be careful because
Yeah.
they'll come. They make like but you do have a little bit better footing if you own something. You rent something. Trust me, I used to be a renter. I'm here to tell you, you living by a wing and a prayer,
Yeah,
wing and
it's
a prayer.
true. We were in the military
Because I
when
honestly, people don't
COVID
believe
hit.
me when I say I don't really believe in owning land, because that's not, how can you own something that was here way before you were?
True.
But when in Rome, we must do as the Romans, and property is 9/10 of the law. So so I'm in Rome, so I'm a Roman right now. But that's just like when you go to Africa, people get mad. They say, "Oh, they don't let you really buy the land. You get 100-year lease." Yeah, because guess what? Even the chiefs, technically, they don't technically own it. It's not the same. You get what I'm saying? It's not always the same. Um, when we use a word versus when it's used in another culture or another place, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like when they say stuff is lost in the English language. Like when you say Bella in Italian, if I'm not mistaken, Bella doesn't just mean a girl, it means a pretty girl. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they have
Mhm.
some words where it's one word, but it means more than one thing. Like in French, beau is thought of to be a handsome man, not
Mhm.
just a
A
man.
man.
So things lose in the translation to English because English is an inferior language. But I ain't gonna get on that today. That's some stuff I done learned recently, child. You have to forever be learning, forever be learning. But
Yeah.
English unfortunately is my first language, so got to roll with it. So I wish I had been born in somewhere else where I didn't speak English as a first language. I wish I'm trying to catch up and learn other languages now.
Yeah.
Exactly, David. Nobody own the land. The land is the, and see, that's why when people dog the land and stuff like that, the land to me, I think of it as a gift and a resource for you to be able to, because to be able to like do, like as gardeners we cultivate and do all these things. To me, I find that as a gift
Yeah,
because
it's like in partnership with the land.
yeah,
Like it's not
yeah,
your right
yeah, yeah,
necessarily, but if you can tap in, like we can do it together. Like me, you, Mother Earth,
yeah,
Father God, we out here.
yeah. It's definitely a thing. Yeah, you
Absolutely.
are
Oh, I
supposed
did
to.
write questions down for you. I always do.
Oh snap! You got questions for everybody.
Oh, sure.
I
If
Aisha
anybody
is
in
a,
the comments wants to answer the questions, you are
if
more
y'all didn't
than
know, Aisha a teacher, so she have questions. That's one of her
what
many
is,
professions.
you know,
So
I'm a
she got
Jackie of
several.
all trades.
What a Erica? What a munching cucumbers. But go ahead and ask your questions,
I
Aisha.
did more 60-day melons and some munching cucumbers. Is that little ones?
Oh, is that what that is? Y'all know I'm retarded. I don't know why y'all
I
use
don't know. For real. I
these
just
special
threw out a
words. Don't use
guess.
no special words. He said he did terrible in school.
Okay, I'm
What?
gonna ask my question. You got me laughing. What's one lesson from the garden that changed how you move through life?
One lesson from the garden that changed how I moved through life. I used to be, when I was younger, I was a lot more chaotic. What I mean is, when I was younger, which don't get me now, don't get me wrong now. If you try me now, I'll punch you in your throat. But when I was younger, I was I was chaotic like to a fault. So the garden, I guess, has taught me to be more peaceful. Because believe it or not, when I'm not filming, I be out there just either in silence or I might be singing or something like that. But it's not, you know, when I the way I am on camera when I'm giving y'all information, that's not how I am if the camera ain't on. I'm either in
Mm-hmm.
silence, contemplating, thinking, kind of meditating in a way, or I'm singing. I sometimes I have music. It's one of the two. But
Mm-hmm.
it's become I've become more peaceful, I would say, in my way of life. And I was moving in that direction before I started gardening, but once I started gardening, I really became more peaceful. It takes a lot for me to really, you really have to be trying to do something to me. But back in the day, you could set me off real quick. I choke your ass to the floor. I didn't care. I really did not care at all. It was like I didn't have nothing to lose. So yeah.
Nice. I love that answer. I too am very much more patient. I go to the garden when I'm happy. I go out there when I'm sad. My daughter will tell you, mommy goes to the garden when we get on her nerves. So that's probably the meditation part.
That's your how can we put it? That's like you don't have a she shed per se, but it's like a area of solitude.
They are not always welcome. Sometimes they be like, "You need help?" I'll be like, "No,
You turn back around, take your ass back in the house.
go back in the house because I came out here to be without you." Okay.
I like my mom used to tell me, I don't need to see you right now. I don't need to, you need to go
There
somewhere.
you go.
I don't need to see
And
you.
we always together, girl. I don't drop them off nowhere. They don't
I
go to
know.
school. No. Y'all go in the house. Today I'm by myself. He go, Mia. Oh, but I don't want you to be alone. Girl, I'm not alone. I'm just by
I
myself. No, she
I
said, I
got
don't want you to
look.
be lonely. I said, I'm not lonely. I'm just by myself.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a
When as
difference.
when she get older, she'll get it. A loneliness or being alone versus loneliness is a concept I had to get older to get.
Yes. Yes.
That came a little bit with a little bit more maturity.
Like I'm
Then
alone, but I like it. I'm not
but you know
lonely.
what? And I think it also took a lot for me to get that because I'm only child too. So I was always alone, but I ain't never really feel lonely like Tama. So when people get to talking about being lonely, I used to be kind of baffled, like, what's wrong with her?
Mm. And you know that may be that there's something to that because my kids are always together. Like since she was born, she's been homeschooled, and the
Yeah,
older ones have too. So we're always together. And I will tell her, like when I first started dropping my oldest off in Science World Discovery, Mia was like, "Girl, where's my sister?"
yeah,
And I'm like,
yeah.
she's in class. She said, "You left her there, baby." First of all, yes, I have vetted this person in this class. I know where
Yeah.
she is. We're gonna be
She was
right
like,
there when she
mama,
gets out of class. She was
this
like,
a
"No,
bad
ma'am,
look.
don't."
Go get my sister. This a bad look. Go get my sister. I'm not playing it. Where you said she at, I get in the car, I go get her. Like,
Yes. So I gotta teach them. I had to teach them to each enjoy their alone time. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, girl, it's stuff you like to do that your brother and sister don't like to do. When they gone to class or whatever, when they doing their own thing, you be doing that thing. But
yeah.
maybe you had that naturally because you were an
Yeah,
only
it was just
child.
like when I was a little kid, it was me and the dog. So I mean, but even sometimes the dog would go in the other room and go to sleep, and I'd be doing something. So it was like, but yeah, and your kids are not dogs, but just follow me. That's how my dogs are because there's three siblings, and then Iris, they mama, and they've always been together. And I noticed at one point they don't do it anymore because I've kind of trained them to not to do it. And I had to read about this pack behavior. If you keep a litter together, it's like it can happen with any dogs, but especially siblings. I would take one of them on a walk. Like I sometimes I take them on a walk individually.
Yeah.
And I would notice that when you take one away from the group, the others would like kind of whine and cry and be like, like, and I had to kind of be like, you can't, you all right, chill out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We gonna be back. We just going around the block a couple of times. Be back. I'm gonna get you, take you next. you
Because
know.
you an individual.
Yeah, and I had to start doing that because I used to walk all of them all the time together. But then I realized that they needed to be confident and know how to stand on their own and be okay. So there are times when I take them individually and walk. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that that's a thing for real, for real. I think that's just a socialization thing among just probably any creature that naturally be together, whether it's humans, dogs, cats, whatever. They
Yeah.
probably
And
all
then and we all have our different things we have to learn. Cause like my little niecey poo from Nigeria just came down, baby, and she's learning how to share because it's just her.
Oh, now let me say this. I get it because I'm only cat. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this story. It take my mama. My mama used to kill me telling this story. So I'm only child. I'm the second grandchild. So I only got one cousin older than me. And so that means and a lot of time when I went to granny house, my cousin was not there. So it would be me. And I'm also the oldest girl cousin because the cousin that's older than me, he a boy. So
Okay.
he the first boy, I'm the first girl. So, and when you go to granny house, granny got a little granddaughter she can spoil. So it's me and granny, or it's me and mama, or it's me and daddy when I was real young. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, my first birthday, mama decided to have a birthday party at the house. Everybody gonna come and celebrate my birthday. I had been taking a nap. The people came over, they woke me up out of my nap. My mama took a picture of me. There's a picture of me, and I'm like, I'm literally frowned up. My mama say I was pissed. My
Because I'm asleep. Y'all
cause
gotta wait till I
they
get up
woke
for
me
this.
up. My mama was like, but it's your party. She tried to kind of get me out of there, but I was, and she was like, girl, you was cutting up. My cousin came, he tried to play with my toys. I said, put that down. My mama looked at me. He tried to play with something. I said, that's mine. He tried to play with something else. I said, that's mine too. So is that. Put that down. Don't play with none of my stuff. Put it all down. And when I tell you, my mama laughed at first, but then she had to check me and be like, okay, this your little party. You and your little attitude, check yourself because you're going to fool around and not get nothing. You ain't going to get no
Right.
toys, no cake. You ain't getting nothing. You're going to I'm going to lock you in this room if you keep on. I finally straightened up, but she said for about 15 minutes, she said I wasn't having it. She said
I
I
know
didn't want
that's
to
right.
share. I didn't
Well,
want to do
okay. Well,
nothing.
first of all, they started it off wrong by waking you up out your sleep. That was the
But
first
see,
strike,
mama
though.
said a party was at such and such time. It was that I guess I still was sleeping. Mama didn't care. Mama said, get your ass up. She said, wake your ass up. The people hit.
The
The people
choices we
hit.
got to make as mamas. Like, do I wake her up now and deal with this goddamn
But she
attitude?
said usually I didn't cut up like that. She said she don't know what come over me. She said I cut clean up. She said I cut up. She
Oh,
said
see, because I feel like lack of sleep makes most people cut up a little bit.
I think so. I think so.
Most people don't like being
and that's
woken
and
up
that's
out
why
their
I
sleep.
tried my best to get sleep because I don't want to go out into the world grumpy. I don't think people should have to put up with whatever. Um, so I do. When I was younger, I would neglect sleep, and I think sometimes my attitude would reflect that. I'm not saying I was always a grump, but I remember times when I'd be like, "Yeah, I could use a few winks right now. I really could use a
Mm-hmm.
few winks." Like, so yeah, I think that does play a role. But yeah, my mama had me rolling in the flow. My cousin still tell the story to this day. Yeah, you remember when you told me? Or he'll come over to my house and be fooling with something. Don't tell me to put it down. Don't tell me it's yours. I'll be like, boy, shut up. Shut
They
up.
ain't gonna let you live that down.
Nope. And that's been 39 years ago. And they refuse to let me live it
That's
down.
so funny. I see a lot of people said that they also learn patience
That's good. That's good.
from the garden. Patience, it brings me patience. I had to scroll up for that. Alone but never lonely. Come on, that's what I'm talking about. I like myself. I be kicking it with myself. Okay, next question.
I'm listening.
Okay, let's do some content creator questions. I know that you didn't start your channel per se for the check and whatnot. You have mentioned sometimes it's not just the hugest check in the first place. You're doing it for the people,
Yeah.
sharing the knowledge, and we sure appreciate you. But I do think there's probably some people who watch you that have, excuse me, thoughts about wanting to grow their channel.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna ask you a couple questions for those people and to get to know more about like how you like to put your channel together. So my first question is, what's your favorite type of video to create? Like, do you love and to watch? Like, do you love harvesting videos? You love videos where they, you know what I'm saying, where they be showing the bugs and stuff? Cause I'll be like, what is that bug? Let me look it up. Tell me the truth. You know, what are your thoughts on that?
My favorite types of videos to make are probably videos where I actually show a process of getting something done, whatever that is. Like if it's planting out a new bed or
I
constructing a
love your
new bed.
grafting videos.
Yeah, like where I show a process of how to do something, grafting, planting, potting up things like transplanting or something like that, where I show. That's probably my favorite to show how to do. Um, because I think it gives an idea of what it takes to go into some of those things. Like I said, so many people think you just throw seeds in the wind and then no. That's not you don't just throw seeds and then all of a sudden next week you got a food forest. That's not exactly how they go. So I try to show people what it takes to go into it because once again, like I said about the fads, I don't want people. You get hung up in these fads thinking it's gonna be easy. That's why they like these fad diets. Oh, you all you have to do is this, and you're gonna lose 200 pounds. Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And it ain't gonna stay off. You're gonna lose 200 pounds of water weight and muscle weight. You're gonna be crippled and crazy. So so I don't. That's not how I roll. So I want people to say, okay, well, dog, if I want my stuff to kind of look like hers, I'm gonna have to put at least some level of care into it or
Okay,
some
that's
level of
true.
effort into it. Otherwise, then my favorite kind to watch. I really honestly am easy. I kind of like whatever people put out. To be fair, I watch videos more based on a person's personality. I Everybody do stuff differently. So I like to see, okay, this person do it this way versus that way, or this person's personality versus, and I like a variety of different personalities. It's not one particular type of personality I like, um just like it's almost like getting to know a person a little bit, from a distance, but you
Mhm.
kind of get to know them because there's certain channels I kind of before they even get, I said, oh, she finna do, like when something happen, oh yeah, this person, they don't like snakes, they finna freak out because I see a snake over there,
Mhm.
or this person don't like this or the bugs or whatever, because you can bank on Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead. If something get on her, she gonna holler out. She gonna holler out. She gonna turn the camera over. Um, and then I also like it sometimes when it's the slick stuff, like Miss Gail at Georgia Peach Nut. When that bug got on her and she cussed out, because understand this, Georgia Peach Nut is a church lady. She go to Ebenezer Baptist Church, the same church that Martin Luther King used to be the pastor of. She go to that church.
Okay.
Baby, when she cussed out, it's just like, remember when Steve Harvey used to tell that joke about Sister Odell? He didn't
Mhm.
like going to church until he found out Sister Odell cussed. That's how I am. I used to sit by the lady in church who used to cuss, cause that's how I was. She was up under her breath cussing the pastor. So I like that kind of stuff, or the surprise stuff that happened. And I also like to see people be productive and um I don't mind seeing the failures too. That's fine because I have them. But I do like to see people who are productive. I don't like watching, like, if you've been gardening or making gardening content for 6, 7 years and you've harvested 6 things out of those 6 years, I probably won't watch you because it ain't nothing to watch. Like, you know what I mean? But I like to see people just do well, learn. I like to watch people learn. A lot of times people learn right in front of you. You know, they learn what to do, what not to do. You can see them grow over the years. The longer they make content, you can kind of see. Because, like, I can look back and say, well, I remember when this person was doing this and now they doing this. You know, they've graduated, you know, stuff like that. So I won't say there's any one particular thing that I like to watch. I like it when people are excited about what they're doing, and if that comes through in your videos, I probably watch. So I'm kind of easy in that regard.
Okay, I agree with that. I feel like even when we talk, you always mention all different kinds of channels, and most everyone that comments here too, you've checked out their channel. You can remember, like, you know, a
Yeah.
scenario and something or something that they talked about or that they did on their channel that relates to what we're talking about. So I think that's cool. It's like a really nice community where we can grow together. I loved watching your channel first because it did show me kind of like what it actually took. It wasn't just the pretty parts of
Yeah.
gardening. And I really needed that because I feel like people feel like they're crazy if you only share the pretty parts and you never show, like, hey, I have pests too, or, you know, hey, sometimes I get tired of doing this too. Or dang, I forgot to water that. Look at it falling over dead, so that other people's stuff don't have to fall over dead. You can help them. You know, they can learn from your mistakes as well. I think it
Yeah.
helps us all to kind of grow. What do you wish people
J3GS.
knew? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Give me 2 seconds. J3GS. You said, how can you advance your channel? Give me 2 seconds because I'm finna hold
Oh,
on.
okay.
We doing live troubleshooting. Live troubleshooting. Which one are you trying to advance? Because you know you got two of them.
Let's talk about it. What two
4 days
channels?
ago. First of all, you got to quit making 3-minute videos. That's number one. I know y'all. I don't know what that is. I know my videos are insanely long, and I know y'all think I'm crazy, but it don't matter how long I make that video. People watch 30% of it. So if I make 30 minutes, they watch 10. When you make a 3-minute video, they watch 30 seconds.
Okay, I see. Okay, and that's good to know too that you said when you make a 30-minute video,
they
on
watch.
average,
You
people
can you
still
can
watch
look at
10
your
minutes of
you
it.
can you can look at your analytics and you can see it'll show you a graph where it starts with everybody watching and then it will fall off. And roughly they watch about a third. It doesn't matter how long I make the video. If I make a 10-minute video, they'll watch roughly 3 minutes and some seconds. They roughly watch about a third. Now that's on my channel. You would have to look at your graph and see, but I ain't gonna lie, YouTube even had a thing one time because they used to have content creator, like they would have people go on there and give you tips about making content. And one of the main tips was make a little bit longer videos because people are more inclined to watch a little bit more. And if they watch a little bit more, they're engaged a little bit more. It's almost like they kind of keep wanting a little more and a little more. And you get what I'm saying? And the more they watch, the more YouTube promotes it, if that makes sense. So
That makes sense. And I
it's
think
kind of
one
a
other thing.
cycle. It's like you know what I'm saying? It's almost like a vicious cycle. The more they watch, the more YouTube will promote it. If people continue, you make a 3-minute video and they watch 30 minutes to a minute, YouTube will never promote your stuff ever. Ever. You can cancel it. So, you know, find something, or what you could do is, because let me see. So you posted several videos with, about 2 weeks. Take the 6-minute video and the 3-minute video and put them together and make it a 10-minute video.
I was
Like when
just
I
gonna
have a
say that because that's
6-minute
what I
video,
do.
I won't post that. I will wait until I get, because sometimes you don't have nothing but 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes you don't have time to film like that. So take If you got 3 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 3 minutes, take them 3 3-minute videos and put them together, make a 10-minute video. You see what I'm saying? That's your best bet. And then just don't post as much. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, at one point in time, I started posting every other day. I went back to posting every 3 days. That posting every other day, that didn't help me at all. I went back to posting every 3 days. Sometimes you can wear your audience out. Because sometimes you shoot yourself in the foot. If you post every day, YouTube expects you to post every day. That's number one. Number two, sometimes your viewership get tired of you. Like, for instance, say your favorite TV show. It may be your favorite TV show, but would it be your favorite TV show if you watched every single day? Because pay close attention. Soap operas. Everybody back in the day used to watch stories. Y'all notice it ain't but 2 or 3 stories left. Young and the Restless, Bold and the Beautiful, Beyond the Gates, and what else? Because I don't think All My Children ain't on no more. Is it? General Hospital. Them people who watch them they not on. Daytime TV has went to where the dodo. I'm talking about for soap operas. People don't want to see you every day like that. You get what I'm saying? If they don't want to watch Victor Newman every day, they don't want to watch you every day. So that's why I would never post every day. Never. Post every 2 or 3 days. Lead them people. You know how they say when you're in a relationship, you know, we spend time apart, and when you get back together,
it makes the heart grow fonder.
There you go. That's what you need to do on YouTube. Make them people kind of fiend for you a little bit. You have to make them be a crackhead just a little bit. Just not real crackish, just a little crackish. Just a little bit of crack.
That is the part I'm going to screen record and tell people to watch.
Yeah, just a little crack. Just a couple of rocks. A little bit of rocks. Not big ones. You just want a little bit of rocks.
That's the gems right there. So, what about your channel or your garden are you most proud of?
I am most proud of the variety of things that I have. Because I actually have a variety of fruits and vegetables. Sometimes I notice, well, I mean, everybody should grow what they like. So let me say that. But let's all be real too. Most people like fruits. I'm not saying fruits are bad for you, but just follow. You need more than fruits. You need vegetables. Those leaves is power in those different leafy greens and different vegetables, peppers, different colors in your diet. And fruit do come in a wide variety of colors, but I just noticed this sometimes. Sometimes people is only growing fruit, and I just be like, because we all know what they doing. That means you got a sweet tooth and you only like sweet stuff. And that's a sign of your health. You say what you want. That's a sign of your health. My granny's health was the way it was because she ate a very diverse diet. She didn't eat just one thing. So I'm very, happy about the diversity in my diet. What was the other part of the question? I mean, the diversity in my garden, because that means diversity in my diet.
It was just what are you most proud of when it comes to either your channel or your garden? You can pick both or either.
Most proud of when it comes to my channel, the amount of information. I'm surprised I haven't run out of information yet. I'm fearful.
Well, you keep learning too. You keep learning in front of us
when I tell you,
I
be learning so I can keep up with the YouTube streets. I be learning because I be trying to dispel info. I be trying to get y'all the information. I be trying to learn. But yeah, I do. I find myself hustling to learn, because like I found out about stuff like the kale and clay. I said, and I actually put that on the back burner. I meant to get some last year, but I didn't. I said I want to read some more about it and see how I do this work, because I knew what it was, but not for gardening. I knew about kale and clay for your skin. I knew about that, but I did not know about its uses in the garden, like how does it work or blah. But I knew what it was. But yeah, so I be hustling up on this information, y'all. I be hustling.
So if your garden could speak, what would it say about you?
I'm a fool and a half. I'm a fool
I
and a half.
started laughing before you started answering.
You said what? Yeah, because you already knew the answer was going to be foolish.
If I could be a bee in your garden, I'm sure I would crack up on a daily basis.
Oh, child, I wish bees could talk. Like, cause I'm sure not just the bees, the wasps, the lizards. I'm gonna tell you, the lizards and the toads probably hear the most because they are
Mm.
always in the garden. I'm sure in their own way they laugh and they probably be like, "Stop trying to touch us," because I be trying to pet the lizards. They don't like that. They be running off. I saw the cutest lizard. It was this big, girl. It must have just hatched out. It was so cute. I was
Mm.
like, look at you now, hide before the birds try to eat you.
I know. Same in our garden. We have a whole bunch of lizards. I had to bring the
Yeah, I have a
kids
lot.
over there to your house so they can catch some for you to pet.
Yeah, I be trying to pet them, and then the males, they puff that thing out, and they be, how they be doing. I said, I don't know if you try to mate with me or scare me. I don't know which one you trying to do, but ain't now one I'm working. I ain't turned on and not scared. So you might as well stop. You put your throat down, put that back, whatever that is, and stop bouncing. You can stop that. Because it's not working. I'm the wrong species, baby. You're very cute.
Oh
I'm
my
wrong.
gosh. That is so funny. He said bounce chicka wow
Oh, child. Because I
wow.
don't know, is that like aggression? Because I've never looked it up. See, and I'll be honest and tell y'all that. Like, people be like, oh, you so smart. Because, like, my neighbor, and I don't know if this is a white girl thing or what, because I've never met black women that do this. My neighbor will sit there. She'll look at a bird, and then she'll be like, oh, look, what kind of bird is that? And I'm like, I don't know, long as it's not crapping on me, I don't care. You see, I let nature do nature, because I feel like sometimes when it's like the white girl in the scary movie. Y'all doing too much. You asking too many questions. What's that noise? Don't worry about that. Go the other direction. That's the problem. You worried about the wrong thing. So
I don't know. I feel like my kids do that. We definitely be like, what kind? Now, are we gonna go closely observe it?
no.
No.
She walks up on stuff. She walks
Oh
up on.
no, we don't. We. I
There
might
was
take a
an
picture with my
owl.
phone. Probably try to find it in a book. Probably
There
maybe
was an
look it up.
owl. So we have a particular type of owl. I looked it up once. I forgot the names, but there are owls that live because we have such big trees. There's a particular owl that's native to here, and you will see them every now and again. You don't see them much because they do try to stay away from humans. But if there's something for them to eat, like mice or something, they will roost and nest in the trees. We were outside, and I heard something weird, and I said, what's that?" And I looked up and I saw the owl, and it was beautiful. I said, wow, because I'd never seen one in person. Well, I saw one in person, but like at the zoo, but I don't count that. I'd never
Right.
seen one in the wild. And I said, oh, wow, that's beautiful. And I looked at him and admired him for a few seconds, and I took my ass on. Because that's a bird of prey.
Yeah, because
I'm
what is he looking for right now?
your talents. I know he probably not going to eat me, but I'm just saying, let me get out the way because you swoop down. I don't want to
I don't
be
want
in
to have to
there.
fight no owl today. That's it.
That's not my neighbor. Oh, what is that? I think I'm going to climb the tree. Okay.
Now, when that thing
Have
slice
fun with
your
that.
face,
Have fun with that. Oh, what's that noise? She'll get an app on her phone, hold her phone up in the air so she can hear. What's that? I'll be like, girl. But then she tells these stories because she's from the Midwest. She tells these stories. Have you never had this type of bird to chase you? I said, birds don't chase me, ma'am. I said, have you ever seen that movie, The Birds? I said, it's the reason why one number white women in that movie, one no black people in the
because
movie.
we don't bother them
Y'all
like
be
that.
fooling with them birds, and them birds be fooling with y'all. I ain't got time for that. I said, stop it. Them birds gonna pick your eyes out. Leave them
And you
alone. She
watch
finally is
videos of them
starting
and
to
you
get
be
it.
like, you started it. I saw this deer stomp the crap out this lady.
Okay, Aisha, have you
It's
seen
not
when the
funny, but
people?
I'm like, y'all got to
But
learn at some point about boundaries. Like animals
have you
have
seen
boundaries
them?
too.
Have you seen them when they go to like Yellowstone Park and stuff, and they be like, "Oh, look, a buffalo," and they be walking up to it? Do you realize that a buffalo weigh over 1,000 pounds, and it's like all muscle? Are you crazy? Are, but you seen that black man that was reporting the news? Oh, You coming over here, ain't it? Oh no, I'm gonna get up out of here. Start wrapping that card up.
That's what I'm saying. We don't play with our life. We don't play with our
So,
life.
but
And
my
one
neighbor, it
thing
kills
black
me. And
folks
I
ain't
asked
finna
her
do is
one day,
play with their life. We ain't finna
girl,
investigate it.
I said,
We
girl,
ain't finna be the first
what
one on
is
the
this in
scene.
you? She'll see a hole on the ground. Oh, I wonder what's in that hole. She'll go stick her eyes down. I said, girl, get
So it can
yours.
bite your eye. It's gonna
She's
bite your
finally
eye.
kind of starting to get it. Because when she does things, I slowly back away from her and allow whatever to happen. So she has stopped. Because when she see me back up, she said, oh, well, maybe you catch it on.
Look at
Like,
you
I don't see
changing
how she has
lives.
10 fingers and 10 toes at this point in her life. I really don't. But yeah, I tell her all the time, I said, yes, nature is beautiful, but I respect nature. She said some mockingbirds went after her the other day. I said, the mockingbirds don't go after me. What are you doing to the mockingbirds? I said, what are you doing? Because your mockingbirds and my mockingbirds, same mockingbirds, because we live right next door to each other.
So why they
Well,
mocking you and
I
not
don't
me?
know. I stay in the house. Stay in the
Leave
house.
them alone.
She said, oh, I
Erica
done put
say
some
black
bird
folk
seed out
nosy to a
here.
certain
I
extent.
said,
We
here she go.
nosy from afar. We nosy like a security guard, like observe and report nosy. We're not the investigator nosy, stick your
No,
nose all in it. We
she's
we
Inspector
gonna find out
Gadget.
about that from over here. We if something pop out of there, it's gonna get them before me.
She is Inspector Gadget type nosy for real. Like she need a
Chuck Weezy
theme
said
song.
these would let natural selection handle her.
And that's what's gonna happen. And I keep telling her, I said, "Girl, I'm low key a scientist. You already know. I'm finna let nature have you. You finna go back to it." But she slowly but surely is getting it. Let me see if y'all can see the damn background. Can't see nothing. But my friend harvested a bunch of tomatoes out of his garden.
Oh, just the friend that went to the farmer's market with you?
Yeah, yeah. That's my little homie. And what is inspiring about him, he's a lot younger than me.
Because
So
you
I
said
met
little
him,
homie. I was going to ask, how old is your little homie?
he's 25. And um I met him through somebody else. So he went to architecture school and he works at one of the local universities around here. And what's interesting is that by birth he's Russian, but his parents adopted him when he was an infant. So he doesn't have any memories of Russia at all. But the way that they did it was that he has dual citizenship. So he's still a Russian citizen as well as an American citizen too. But in his upbringing, because like I said, he Russian, blonde hair, everything.
Mm.
But growing up, he ran with a lot of black girls because he gets a $2 bill. But he ran with a lot of black girls. So it's funny because he's like, it's almost like he's a little old black lady because he crochets, he gardens, he just does all this little stuff. But he's fun to hang out with though. He, like I said, he's 25 and he's this year's the first year he's ever grown peppers. This year's the first year he's ever grown beans. A lot of the seeds he got from me. He wants to grow roselle next year because I let him. So last year I made the roselle drink. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't make the traditional Jamaican one. I made my roselle sun tea. That's what I made. And I let him taste it and he fell in love with it. And then you can eat the leaves too. He fell in love with that because he makes a lot of salads. Because he grows lettuce and stuff like that. He grows a lot. He grows tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers, things to go in a salad. So he was like, oh yeah, these will be great in a salad. So I gave him roselle seeds, and this year's his first year growing roselle and stuff like that because he had no clue about it. He was raised in the South, but just like me, a lot of times, you may know tomatoes, cucumbers, potatoes, But sometimes you don't know some of this oddball stuff, you know, roselle stuff that's grown more in the Caribbean, or you may know bell peppers and things like that, but you may not know nothing about bird peppers or piri piri or fish peppers, some of these other peppers that they have, so but
Yeah, I
yeah.
think growing your food definitely opens you up to like just a variety. I didn't know there were so many different kinds of tomatoes, child.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
and
it's
what
all kind of colors, baby. It's different shapes, honey.
and what kills me is by him being Russian is crazy, because if you go in his kitchen, he has so many spices, but he has so many different spices because he loves. It's like I said, I told him, I said, you was black in some previous lives or something else other than Russian, because he has all of these different Indian spices, all of these different
Mm.
spices that's used in Egyptian cuisine, African cuisine. Because, like I said, I came in his house and he had some dried bird peppers. I said, "How you know about bird peppers?" And he started telling me, "Oh yeah, I be making jollof and this and stuff." Well, so how? Stop! You be making jollof? I said, okay, next time you cook that, I'm gonna need to taste that, because I don't know if that may not be cooked. You maybe need to stop making that.
And I wonder where he learned that at.
I'm telling you, so one of his friends that he grew up with, they're like Nigerian Americans. So their parents were born in Nigeria and they were born here, but they Nigerian, honey.
Yeah.
So but yeah, learned it from his friend's mother. Um and like I said, he grew up very diverse. He's had Indian friends, he's had African friends, he's had just all different types of people. He grew up in a very diverse kind of, so he likes all these different cuisines, just all this different stuff. And so now that he has figured out a lot of these different things, he can actually grow instead of, going to because I started telling him about the turmeric and this, that, and the other. He had no clue that you could even grow. I said, oh, turmeric grow good, grow easy.
Mm-hmm.
Ginger too. I said, a lot of this stuff is really easy. He had no clue.
Yeah.
So yeah, so his little eyes have, because he was the only person gardening in his little circle until he ran into me. And so we kind of, became thick as
Yeah, you
thieves
bonded
over
on
that.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of turmeric,
Gardening
I
to
have
do
some
that.
little black turmerics if anybody's looking for some. I have like a bunch of extra ones. I've
And y'all
already
get her
planted a
turmeric, because
whole
my
lot
black
in
turmeric
my
is tried.
yard.
Yeah, it's that black turmeric. Mine is still growing. It's becoming, this year it's gonna be on. It's gonna be a real nice plant. Really nice, I think.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I'm excited. But I planted a bunch of little ones thinking that they'll be ready for the farmers market, and which was
When
in April. And it's funny because when I go to I every year I go to the botanic garden sale. It's a huge
uh-huh.
sale. They have a lot of gingers and turmerics. And most of the time they haven't popped out yet either. But I
Mhm.
just felt like at my farmers market, like while I'm trying to encourage new growers, they would need to see a little bit of leaf, a little bit of green or something popping out of there to feel
Yeah,
confident
yeah,
enough, to
yeah,
purchase it and bring it home.
yeah. Some
So now I
people
got
are
all these
so
little babies with their greens popping out.
yeah.
And the
Some
farmers
people are
market has
so
passed me by.
so many people are so what do I do? What do I do? I don't see anything. I don't. Humans are so visual. We're very, very visual. It's just
And
like when people
gardening
grow
takes a lot
stuff,
of
they
faith. Like
have,
you plant a seed and you have to take care of that thing until it sprouts, sometimes 14 to 21 days. Or you plant a tree and you have to wait a
girl.
couple years to actually get fruit from it, but you still have to care for that tree.
Spoiler alert. So my indigo germinated
Okay.
and asked me how long ago I planted that, way back in January. I just knew them seeds wasn't gonna come up. I just knew they wasn't gonna come up. Them indigo to come up. I was like, oh, it's over.
Remember, I thought
It's a
mine
wrap.
died.
Did it come back? It came back,
Huge.
didn't
It's
it?
huge.
So have you done anything with it yet, or
I've started watching the videos of the process of turning it
So I
from the
saw
leaves to the dye? Because you have to like ferment and then dry it
yeah,
out and make a powder. That's as far as I got.
interesting. So I saw, let me see. What did I see? Because as usual, that's one way to do it with the powder. But I think there's a way to do it where you take the leaves and you have to mix it with like ammonia of some sort.
Okay.
And way back in the day, I know this is gross, y'all, but way back in the day, because I'm trying to remember what did I see where they showed, because I think, see, it's so many parts of enslavement they leave out. They leave out how black people have been masters of indigo since before we got to this side of the planet, because they were making blue dye. You know, they had those colors in Africa when nobody else had those colors. Um, but they took the indigo and they would like grind it up, and then they would use urine, because urine has ammonia in it. That was just a fast way
Mm.
to do it. And it's something about the reaction between something in the indigo and the urine. But then I think you do have to take that resulting liquid and ferment it, I think.
Mm.
And then it's like you strain off all the leaves and the salt, all that stuff, and then you can use it as dye, I think. But don't quote me on that. I know I'm missing some spots because I don't know all of it. But I found it interesting that they were using urine back in the day just as a quick way to.
Yeah, I'm always open to learning the different methods, even if I'm not using it myself. I have a few
Yeah,
books and I watched a few videos. And remember, I don't know if you remember, I went to a class too. But I'm
yes, I
like,
remember
why we
that.
can't just boil it like we did in class? In class, we just took them the whatever color we wanted. We used
So
avocado
did
pits to make a brown. We
okay.
used some kind of bug that makes like a purple or pink. They already had that.
Oh,
And then we used even onion skins to
yeah,
make like a orangey yellow, which I thought was super cool. And all we did was like you have to prepare your fabric, but then all you do is just kind of boil your fabric in there
uh-huh.
and then hang it to dry. I say, well, I can't do that with the indigo. I might still try it because I have a lot of it, see if it does anything. And
Yeah,
then I'm also gonna just take the time to try to do the lengthy process.
indigo seems to be a little bit of a process. I know if you take pokeberries too, if you take those pokeberries and just boil them in water, it's gonna be magenta purplish. It depends on how strong you make it.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think I
but yeah,
want to try like
because if you just
purple
squish the
onions.
pokeberries, they dye your hands. Like you just squish them
Mm-hmm.
on, and your hands be purple.
So that should make a real nice fabric dye.
Yeah, it does. And like I said, it just depends on
Casings,
how
you can
strong you
email
make it.
me. I'll type my email. Let me type my email. So you can email me about the black turmeric. See if I can see.
Oh, we in the money with the black turmeric. We in the money. Mm-mm. I'm off film. I'm off camera. I'm off camera. Felix,
I'm
y'all hear
typing
him
my
talking
email
about,
in the
"Meow."
chat.
Come here, Fee.
Oh, you finally got the baby.
Oh, I don't know.
We can't even
There we go.
see.
Then the camera cutting up.
Hey, baby. Okay, I see
Hey.
a little bit.
Okay, take your ass on.
We
He
had a
be,
moment.
you know what? But when I got the food though, when I have the food,
Because cats ain't nothing but users. That's why. They deal with you when it's convenient.
I mean, yeah, but let me be real and say I kind of like that a little bit. Because when I want to be left alone, I can be left alone.
Teddy's like that
I
too.
kind of like. Is it?
But Teddy give me what I need when I need it though. I feel like cats don't do that. But that's just me.
You know what? Cats have their own personalities, and I think it also depends on the cat, and it depends on how they're raised too. See, some people meet cats when they're already adults, and then the person who raised them is, Felix, I ain't gonna lie, he's older. He's 21 or so. So Felix is very friendly, but believe it or not, he's more friendly to strangers. Like if he was to meet you, he'd rub all up against you and be. But then when it's me, he like, child, you old news. I ain't got time.
Like, girl, you been here.
But like Garfield, he was really loving. Garfield always want to be with you. Yeah. And Sandy from way long time ago, my black cat, she was very, very loving. Very, almost to a point to get on your nerves. I always want to sit in your lap. I always want to be up on your chest. She got to be right here.
See, yeah, that'd be too much for me.
Yeah, and I love Sandy, but good God. But yeah, because I've had people say, "Oh, I don't like cats," and then they meet my cats and they try to take them home. Leave them here. Leave them here. You don't want them.
I'm thinking about a bunny.
I had bunnies as a kid. I had two.
I had a bunny as a kid. My family wants a big old bunny. I didn't tell you, Teddy. So we had an injured quail in the house, right?
Teddy didn't eat it, did he?
Teddy didn't eat it. Teddy took the quail and put it on his bear. Like Teddy has it's like a dog, like a stuffed dog that he lays on. Mm-hmm. And the quail was sitting on the dog with Teddy.
Oh, Teddy's a nurse.
I'm like, Teddy, did you take this quail? Because it was far from where we were. We all kind of forgot he was in here, basically. And weren't watching Teddy like we should have been. I confess. Okay.
But so Teddy
Elijah, he the first one on the scene. He like, Mom, the quail's out of the thing and it's on Teddy's. But the quail is fine and Teddy's fine. Yeah. So I'm like, Teddy must want a sibling, but they too small, Teddy. You can't be picking up the quail and stuff.
What kind of dog is Teddy?
He's a husky mixed with a lab.
Yeah, labs have a tendency. People always think of labs as because they are working dogs. And huskies are working dogs as well, but labs have a tendency to sometimes they don't kill stuff. They may bring it close to them, but they don't hurt it. Some of them have very gentle spirits. It do depend on the dog though, because the dog, it just depends. Like I said, they got personalities too. It really just depends.
But, yes, baby, Teddy was kicking it with the quail. I said, "Oh, Teddy, you need a sister." Yeah,
he probably likes them. He probably would be cool with a bunny.
I think he would be cool with a bunny, and then the bunny could eat out of the garden, and I could put the bunny poop in the garden. Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. And get the manure. So, do you use any of the quail manure in the garden?
I do, but I don't put it directly. Like when I
have to rot it down.
I just put it to the side for a little while, and then every once in a while I'll clip back my comfrey, and then I'll drop the pine straw over it. Everywhere. That's just my mulching.
It's like kind of like chicken manure. You have to let it kind of age a little bit. Yeah, I can imagine it's probably hot. It's probably kind of got a lot of nitrogen. It's probably hot.
Mm-hmm. So I just do it little by little over time, just to not burn anything.
Yeah, you don't want to burn your stuff up, girl.
And when I put it out, I put the oldest pine straw that I have.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Oh, Ryan Nash said Diva Jones has become my favorite YouTube channel. Me too, Ryan.
Who is this? Let me be looking.
Me too. She helped me realize that I could grow food, that I was capable.
Lord.
PT Family said, hello. I've been listening to the live while I was cooking, so just getting a chance to say hi. Thanks for joining. An Army Chickadee. Turtle, parrot, snake, and monkey are all previous pets I've had. You didn't had a monkey.
And you can't find a way to like a
cat. Army Chickadee. Now,
what's up, PT Family?
You like everything but a cat.
Erica Carter.
Okay, I would love to see a picture of the monkey. What kind of monkey did you have? Was it like a what's that monkey on
Friends?
No. Oh, it is.
That's the
I think
monkey
it's
I
the
think
same
of.
kind of monkey as Night at the Museum. Was that a capuchin that kept on
Girl, I
slapping
don't be
him?
knowing.
Baby, him and that
I
monkey was
appreciate
slapping the
that,
mess
Ryan.
out of
That's
that
so
monkey was
sweet of
slapping the
you.
mess out of Ben Stiller.
Hey, Simple Living, thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Back in Guyana now, you sound
Love
was.
your channel, Diva. And so I'm
Let me
glad to meet
find
you
out.
too, PT family. Thank you. Learned so much. Thank you. Hi. Hey, Simple Living. Thanks for
Army
joining. Oh,
Chickadee,
back in Guyana. It was a
that's fair.
capuchin. I want to see a picture. That's so cool. I would love to know what kind of snake you had. I've had a parakeet. His name was Buddy. He was adorable, but when he made too much noise, I would put a cover over his cage and make him think it was nighttime so he could be quiet.
Why my friend used to do that. My friend had two or three. I'm not gonna say they was parakeets, but she had two or three little birds in there. And they would be tweet, tweet, tweet. You know, they'd be making all that little noise and stuff, honey. When she get tired of that, she'd say, good night. And I'd be like, girl, take that shit off them damn
Girl, be
birds.
the middle of the day, I'll be like, night, buddy, because you talking too much.
Let me ask you this. Have you seen that on social media where this woman, she got a bird, and I guess she must have played Earth, Wind, and Fire for the bird. The bird be in the back. Body ah, say do you
No,
remember?
I gotta see that.
And she say, silence. The bird get quiet for 2 seconds. The bird say, dancing in September, honey.
I'm about to
Oh
look that
my
up when we
God.
get off this live.
When I tell you that bird had me hollering, I say I cannot with this bird.
These
But see,
animals got soul, baby.
that's something I would do. I would sit up and play that and see, and then you do it, but then you mad you did that because you done played the old days for that bird. Where every time you come in, they singing backstab. You can't. You keep playing. I promise you, them birds would know all kind of stuff they ain't supposed to know. That's why I don't need no parrots. I don't need nothing that can learn to sing. I don't need nothing. Because these people, that in Paris, I had a friend that had an African gray. You can tell what your friends be talking about because the birds, they listen to you talk all the time. And then
Girl,
they
what the bird
start,
was talking about?
yeah, the bird was cussing, all kinds of stuff. It was funny to me. It wasn't saying nothing too foolish, but it was cussing.
Girl, like that bird on Martin.
Yeah, something like that.
To my
Something like that.
Hereford.
Yeah, you could tell that the bird had
Muscle
been
butt.
listening. You could tell the bird had been listening to conversation.
Like you saying some specific stuff, birdie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's not random.
just crazy.
Do you
Look how Janice
prefer?
said, "Hey, Felix." Janice said, "Hello." He over there by the food bowl,
Oh,
girl.
Jenny said, "Hey, Fee."
He over there by the food bowl, as usual.
Mm. I
As
got a question
usual.
for you.
Uh huh.
Do you prefer gardening in the morning or in the evening?
Well, when it gets hot, I have to do both. I would prefer to knock it all out in the morning, but I can't water in it when it's hot like this. I can't water in the morning because it just doesn't. It just all evaporates. So I have to water in the evening. So I try to split stuff. And what I'm learning this year is like if you got a bunch of tasks, maybe knock out one or two little tasks. So I'll try to knock out one, two, three tasks in the morning. And then when it get blazing, go in.
Go in the house.
And then like maybe like say I got something quick, like I needed to collect some celery seeds. So it was kind of hot, but I ran out there and I just went on and cut the plant down because the plant was about to die anyway. So I just cut it down. And I sat on the porch in the shade where it was okay and just collected my seeds. So I'm just trying to be smarter about how I do. Um,
This is my
but
first year that I switched to watering in the evening. I was like, I
I
can't
did it
do it.
last year and noticed the benefits, and I stayed with it this year.
Yeah. I know I see a lot of channels where people like get up very early in the morning and they take care of the animals and they get everything watered, and I'm like, maybe I ain't getting up early enough. Like I do get up, I take care of Teddy, I take care of the quail and stuff. But by the time I water
But
the
how
whole
early you
garden in the
supposed to get
morning,
up?
it
3?
is, huh?
How early you supposed to get up? 3?
That's what I'm saying. By the time I finish in the garden, baby, it is hot as Hades out there.
Let me tell you something.
And you
If
know,
I get
Teddy
up,
don't last. He be like, we going in, he'll
if
whine. That's the husky in him. He get the whining by the door. I be like, Teddy, it been 2 minutes.
when I tell you, if I get up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, hell, I just went to bed. Like,
Facts.
but now, like the earliest in the morning, I get out there 6. Cause see, I used to be the type just get up and go out there, but nowadays I done figured out I need to give me a little snack in me before I need to eat something
Yeah.
before, because my energy fades. I guess it's the heat or what. My
And you get
energy
out there
will.
and get stuck. You see what you need to be doing. Ooh, then you see that. Then you see that. And so, you're using your body early in the morning and you expecting it to run just on, because I don't know
Off of
about you, but I run
fumes.
out there first thing dang near.
Yeah,
I might take a
yeah,
little drink or something, but I put my music
yeah,
on and I'm out there. And so it's
yeah.
like, okay, well, how long you gonna be out here working and watering and sweating
On
before you put
fumes.
some fuel in there?
Yeah, yeah. You on fumes and you just out here just doing whatever. But yeah, so I try to get me not something heavy, but just a little something, a little bite of something.
But the
Then I try to
garden
head on
snacks
out
come
there.
through in
Yeah,
that
that's
case
true.
as
They come
well.
in clutch. And that's part of the reason why people see me eating all the time is because I probably have not eaten much and I'm hungry. So
Right?
that's why I don't hesitate to be eating on film. So
Speaking of eating, thanks for sharing my taste test and giving everybody
girl,
the exact number to go.
yes, ma'am. I need them to go direct, direct to the mayhem. I need them to go direct. When I tell you, I hollered and I rolled that back 3 or 4. Cause see, let me tell you what went through my mind. Cause I started to do a reaction video. When you started biting, I said, "Oh, she kind of taking kind of them some generous bites." She took one and she said, "Oh no, it's okay." I said, "Okay, well maybe it ain't gonna be hot." She took two, and she took that third one. And your eyes, I said, "Yep, there you go, there you go." Like Mystical say, "There you go." She was, I was like,
And
uh-huh.
my daughter told me not to keep eating it right before I bit it. I was like, don't keep eating it like all in one breath. Like, don't do it. I'm going to do it.
But
But
what
I
tips
still
me?
wanted to do it. I'm happy I did it. Now we all know.
Yeah. There's some beautiful peppers. I've seen pictures of them and like people growing them. I've seen, and there was a guy. He ain't put out no videos in a long time. I'm pretty sure he used to grow those, the Sugar Rush Peach, or he
Mm-hmm.
grew. There's a yellow version of that same pepper. I can't think of the name of it. I think it's lemon something or other,
Mm.
but same concept, just different color. I don't know if the flavor is exactly the same, but those are supposedly hot as well. But have you cooked with them yet, or you just tried them raw,
I haven't
or
cooked
did you
with
make
them
your
yet.
hot
That was
sauce?
my first one that I tasted. Was
Yeah,
that one? I want to make a hot sauce though,
hmm
and it's a
I think
lot of
they're.
them on there. So I think I might make a hot sauce with it, or I might make a salsa with it.
Yeah, I
I
think they'll
feel
make a
like
good.
they'll be real good.
I think they'll make a good
Um,
hot sauce with it. They probably will be good to cook with too. Cause see, like
yeah.
when I have those peppers, like the one that I tried, where the people was laughing when I said, "Ooh, it's cooking, it's cooking." When that pepper that I suspect is a lipstick pepper. They have it
Mhm.
marked as spicy Jane, but that pepper raw, yes, it was hot, but when you cook with it, it was on point. Because I'm trying to think, what did I make with it? That I took just one small pepper and I diced it up real small. What did I put it in? Cabbage. I made some cabbage.
I love cabbage.
And I just, not to make it hot, but just a little
Add
spice.
some, yeah.
Yeah, just a little
I'm
zing
happy
to it.
I tasted. Oh, look, Kason said when she got to the seeds and hit it, that's exactly what it was. It was
Hmm.
a kind of long pepper, so them first two bites, I swallowed and
Hmm.
everything.
Yeah,
The
I saw.
first two bites.
And then that third one, you couldn't handle it. That was a wrap. And I was hollering.
Ooh,
When I tell you I was in here hollering, I was screaming, hollering. I was like, nope, posting this. Let me post this so the people can see. But yeah,
I tried to hold it together.
I'm glad I'm not the only one, because I remember way back in the day, Deborah Christmas did that with those Creola peppers. She sent me, because originally those peppers were not hot, and she actually didn't like them because she's from Panama. So Panama, they cook with a lot of this, similar to the Caribbean, even though it's in Central America.
Like real spice.
Yeah, they cook with peppers, and she was like, these are okay, but they're, so the next year she's thinking they're still not going to be hot, but they must have crossed with something, because she bit into them peppers and she said, oh. And I holler for days, and she sent me them peppers. And ever since, I always grow those peppers, but they are delicious peppers. I sent some to Chuck Weezy, and I think she said she made hot sauce. No, like dehydrated and made powder out of them or something.
Mm.
But yeah, she made it. They go Texas. She made, a lot of stuff out of them, and I've sent them to, because Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead is growing them this year, and she said she
Oh,
liked
okay.
them. Yeah, she's growing them out this year. I try to share them seeds. I know one batch I shared, I don't think the seeds was right, but this last batch, the seeds were good. Um, but yeah, because they are delicious. They have like a tropical kind of flavor, like a little bit of a sweetness, but
Mm-hmm.
they hot. They hot. But when you cook
Taste your
with them,
peppers, guys. Taste them
yeah,
raw. Have a
yeah.
popsicle next to you.
I was, when you got that popsicle, I was sick. I was sick. I'm in my head like, at least she prepared. I just go out there, baby, because you see that video, I had turned the camera off. I turned the camera off, come back. I was
I
like,
be cracking up. I be cracking up. But you made me want to do it. I was like, I'm gonna show the people because I've never seen the taste test of that particular pepper. So I was like, let
I
me
hadn't
just
either.
see.
Now some of them I refuse, like ghost pepper. I would never.
What
They
I feel
crazy.
like that's
Them people, they
self-explanatory.
touch it to they, like they don't even get it in a mouth good, and they lip melt off. No, it's too much. When you taste something and your whole head turn red, it's too much.
I feel like I still want flavor. Like I like
Yeah, that's so hot. I
spicy,
don't
but
think
I
you
want
can
it to
taste
taste
anything.
good.
Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I like the sweet tarts, the Creola sellers. They're hot, but they're not so hot that you can't enjoy them, especially cooked. Now raw,
Mm-hmm.
I leave that up to, what I'm saying, because certain people can really take that heat like that. Army Chickadee can take that heat like that, because baby, she was eating them buena mulatas like that wasn't nothing.
Well,
Them
maybe
buena
I have to send
mulatas
her
set
some.
me on fire. Fire.
Ooh,
Girl.
I'm gonna have
I
to
was
send her
scared to
sugar
cook with
rush
them. I
peach
said, I'm gonna
pepper.
make some pepper spray with this, because I'm scared to eat this.
There
But
you
she was,
go. You can find a use for it.
oh yeah, I'm gonna find a use. I'm gonna find a use for it. But she from the Caribbean. Not every Caribbean, because Humble Servant Homestead, the husband, he said he can't really do. He said he don't even really eat Scotch bonnets like that. But you see how many Scotch bonnets they grow. He said
They
he can't.
sell them too, though.
Yeah, he said he a wimp. He'll tell you. He said when it come to that heat, I can't take it. But I have known people from the Caribbean. Like when I went to college, they couldn't get it hot enough. I was like, how are y'all doing that?
Yeah,
It's some
I have a
Africans like
limit
that
for
too. I
sure.
met some Nigerians like that. Can just sit up and eat that stuff and it be so hot. I don't even see how they doing it. Kareem's garden grow ghost peppers and something else, Scotch bonnets or something. She said she mixed the two together. I don't know how she eating it. She talking about, but you have to be careful. You put too much, you'll mess up all your food.
And your esophagus, girl.
She tough. She tough. I don't know how she doing if she tough. That
Some
woman,
people just build different. I used
they
to
are.
have a lady that braided my hair when I was little, and she was from Haiti, and her baby would sit up and eat spicy ass food that none of my family could eat, like a 1 year old. And I'd be like, "What is this baby doing? What is this? What kind of
Yes.
taste buds does this baby have?" And she would be tearing it up. Her mom's name was Yudi, and I'm like, "Yudi, this is hot, Miss Yudi. Come on." But she like my baby eating it. Y'all can't eat my
Your baby
baby. I'm
was
like,
forged in fire, ma'am. I don't know what was going on in your womb, but your baby. You talking about she they can handle like ain't nothing. I love it when people do that. They make on
like this is
man,
not normal.
you know you made this baby in a cauldron with a bunch of spells and stuff that don't
You know
nobody.
you had this baby in the middle of a volcano. Now we supposed to eat the same stuff she eating?
We not cut from the same cloth, ma'am. You know, all
Girl,
respect to
what?
the baby, but we not cut from the same cloth. She said you mixed what you
Okay,
sent me.
J3GS Farm said, side note, eating peppers, have a tablespoon of honey on standby. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna try that. I had a popsicle and it worked.
Yes, Carolina Reaper peppers. Those are yes, they're out of the order too. That's the
Yes,
peppers.
service of the
When
sun
you
hot.
when you look
Exactly.
at them, you start sweating. That's the one. You just
Yep.
look at them.
Facts, hotter the better. I mixed what you sent me, and it's not as hot as I would like it, so I'll keep them separate from Army Chickadee. I'm gonna have to send you some Sugar Rush peach peppers. See how you like
Send
them.
her
They're
some.
probably not
I'm still
the
trying to find
hottest,
something that's so hot
but
that she don't like. Cause child, this stuff. I mean, she just be just. Oh yeah. Oh, it's got a little zing. A little
she needs
zing.
some
I was
ghost
dying
pepper
over here. I
stuff.
was dying. I was laying on the ground, dying. Milk ain't help. Ain't nothing help. Ice cream didn't help. Ain't nothing help.
Oh no!
She eating the stuff like she eating celery. I'm just like the stuff ain't
See,
got.
at
I'm
least I was going slow with it. I knew there was a risk,
just.
you know. But it was just a bite right after she told me not to bite it.
That tickled me bad. That tickled me bad when
I
she
was like,
said
"Don't bite it again."
went in. Do your kids be tasting stuff like no, your kids they careful about what they taste. Cause I
They
can
ain't
tell
tasting
how
no peppers.
I can tell by when you cook that soup, they was all like, what is this? They was smelling the soup. They was, you know what I'm saying? That's how you know they well fed. See, my fat ass, eat this. What is it? I don't know.
Yeah, they
You
like,
know,
let me examine it. Let me see,
yeah.
see
They
what's
turn it
going on with it,
over,
what you
they
put
lift
in
it
it.
up, they gonna smell it, everything for they taste. It's not gonna be just eat stuff. Child, them kids,
I'm the adventurous one.
but at least they try though. Some people, I think that's crucial to get your kids to try because have you ever met grown folks that won't try nothing? And I don't think they understand how much that affects their day to day life.
I don't think so. I had a friend in San Diego, and her mom said she don't eat stuff like that. And I'm like, fruits and vegetables, like all of them. Like she would say, because Mia, my youngest, she was out there at 6 weeks after I had
Mm-hmm.
her. So she would always have some type of fruit. Every time we would kick it, that's what she would eat on is some fruits or veggies or
Mm-hmm.
something. And she's
See,
like,
like,
your baby always eating fruit. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's a snack or whatever. Eat, like, you don't like fruit? I don't eat that kind of stuff. Fruits?
that's
All
that's
of
that's
them?
what
Like, I feel
that's
like
what
most people can find a couple of fruits that they like. Like,
that's what the mama said.
the mama said that the daughter didn't eat fruits and veggies either. And she also ate baby powder sometimes, which I
The
feel
mama
like
was eating the baby powder of the
the
daughter.
daughter, the daughter of the person who said, I don't eat stuff like that, which means she didn't raise her daughter to eat stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
The
yeah.
daughter was
That's
like
definitely.
my age, maybe a little older than me.
Oh, okay.
And she
Yeah,
would eat baby powder. And I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. There might be like a deficiency or something happening
yeah.
there, friend.
Pika is real. Like I mentioned that in I don't think my cat no my Kale and yeah, in my Kale and Clay video I mentioned it. Pika's a thing because baby powder, granted, baby powder started out as talc, which if I'm not mistaken, talc is a type of like soft rock. It's
Okay.
like a type of earth. Now, naturally, baby powder now got all kind of stuff in it, except for you know
What it started with.
it started out all right, but now it causes cancer. So but anyway, but that's very similar because I was saying that in the video, and a lot of people didn't chime in. I said, "Do anybody know anybody that?" I had people in my family that were clay dirt eaters, and I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but I can name probably 3 or 4 in my family that did it. Older generations, not my generation, or down. And my neighbor's sister was like that because he said, "Yeah, you ever seen anybody eat clay dirt?" I said, "Shoot, yeah, my people used to." And I remember vividly they would go to it and it was weird. But I have, if you read about it, all kind of cultures do that. They even do it in Africa too. Like just it's they speculate. They're not sure exactly what it is. They speculate. See, some women only do it when they're pregnant, and they say they think something hormonal causes a
Mm-hmm.
mineral, like you can't uptake a certain mineral or something, and it causes you to crave it. But then some people just do it their whole lives,
Yeah,
and
this person just does
they're
it.
not
Like she wasn't
sure.
pregnant or anything, but I
Yeah,
felt like because of how they ate from the mama,
yeah,
and I respect you, mama
yeah.
girl, but not all the fruits and veggies. Like I feel like y'all can find a few that you like because there's things that we need, and especially if we eat in America right now, the food that we purchase does not have the same nutrients and stuff as the food used to have.
No,
And
it
so
has
at
been.
this point, we need to be exercising. If
Yeah,
you don't love that thing, maybe try to love it. Maybe try to cook it in a different way. Maybe try to, you know what I'm saying? Eat it dry.
yeah,
Like for instance, I let Mia taste a fig the other day. It wasn't fully ripe, but she
yeah.
wasn't feeling it. I was like, well, let me
Well,
dry him and see, or let me make fig Newtons or something and
here's the
see.
thing
She
about
might like it in a different way.
yeah, and here's the thing about figs too. Mia's still very young. Um, it's probably texture. It's probably not taste. A lot of people don't understand because I can ask people all the time. So which one? I don't like that. Is it taste or texture or both? What you mean? What you mean?
Yeah.
What I mean?
She
What
actually
and
mentioned the texture
the
too.
idea that some people cannot verbalize, like that's an issue. It's not okay to let kids. I see. I didn't get away with that as a child. If I said I didn't like something, okay, why don't you like it? My mother wanted me to be very succinct and in tune with what I was feeling or thinking or whatever, and be able to express that. Because when you have these big old grown folks that can't, like the one time I don't eat that, it very well may be a texture thing. So I ran into somebody not too long ago, and he says, but see, he knows though. See, it's different when you know. But I said the same thing you said. He was like, yeah, a lot of stuff texturally, I can't do it. He said, I don't know what it is. And I don't know if people know that some people on the autism scale have that as well. They have a thing about texture.
Yes.
And it could be the way something feels in their hands or their
Yep.
mouth or
The
both.
clothes, their fabric, some
Yes.
shoes, they'd be like, not these
Yeah.
shoes.
They can't do it. And I think that guy, he said it. He said, I don't think I'm just, he said, I'm somewhere on the spectrum. I'm somewhere
Mm-hmm.
because this thing that I have about texture, he said, I don't think everyday people have this. He said, I think if there's any symptom of being on the spectrum that I have, it's this, because socially he was fine. Like you would
Mm-hmm.
never even think he was on the spectrum. But he said, when it come to texture, eating clothes, like he's very, very, like he was like certain places he don't go because of just like the way the walls are or the way he said it's really with him it's the texture. So and maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing for her, but sometimes I just feel like it's like maybe she grew up in an environment where she didn't have like, so I was watching this and I didn't know this. So like in polygamy, not all polygamous sects, but in some certain polygamous sects of whatever they they don't- because there are so many children, they don't have enough money, so they have to take, when the grocery store, when the food is expired, they don't throw it away. Sometimes they give it to
Mm.
charity or whatever, and they would take that stuff, and a lot of times when they would get fruits and vegetables, that stuff was rotten. And because of
Mm.
that experience and growing up like that, the girl was like, I don't eat fruits and vegetables like that because it's a trigger for me. It triggers me
That makes
back
sense. I don't
to,
know a lot about her background, but I do know they were from Chicago. This is Navy, so you meet people from
yeah,
everywhere.
everywhere.
And so the husband was in the Navy. My friend that ate the baby powder, or my neighbor that ate the baby powder, was like my neighbor, and then this was her mom, so she had came to visit with them for a little while, but she did often, so I kind of knew her. So
Yeah.
it's possible that has something to do with it
Yeah,
too.
I mean, it could be anything. It could be a texture thing. It could be just, and then you just have some people like my father. I love my granny, but my granny's fault was my granny. My daddy was my granny's favorite. So because he was just like my grandfather, and so she had 6 children. She would make dinner. My father would be like, I don't want that, I don't like it. She would turn around and make him what he wanted. My
Mm,
father's palate to this day is very, very limited. Very. He is so many things that he does not eat. And um but his health, because he's had a heart attack, he has diabetes, it's just all these things. And he tried to do a little better for a little bit, but I recently saw him and we went and ate him. When I saw what he was eating, he's back to it. I It's nothing I can do for you. So but
mhm.
yeah, so it could also be you have parents who will cater to you. And my granny knew better because my granny was a gardener. She knew better, but she still let him pick and choose what he wanted. And to this day, he has the palate of a 3-year old. And I'm going to say this too. Not only does it affect his health, it affects his relationships. Because
Mhm.
I believe firmly that's why he's had 2 broken marriages. Because we can't go to a nice restaurant, you don't eat anything.
Yeah.
You can't go to the fair and have a
And
good
you're
time.
not open,
You don't eat
At
it.
least
Yeah,
be
and you're
open
not
to
even
trying
willing to
something.
try. You're not even trying to try. You just, I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't want why we going there. I remember one time this guy was taking me out to a really nice restaurant and he looked at me, he said, "You eat that kind of food?" And I was like, "What do you mean? What expensive food? Yeah, I do. Especially if you pay."
If somebody
Like
pay
what
for
what you
it, yeah.
yeah, like what you think this is? Like, yeah, I'm going to go eat. And if I don't like it, oh well. But at least I can say I've been there. You know what I'm saying? There's so many places that daddy just won't even. He loves a good rusty trough buffet, Golden Corral. That's why I call it Golden Corral, the rusty trough. He loves that type of thing. Fire Mountain, Ryan's, these little
He
buffets.
keeping it simple, basically.
These buffets where, he'll go to Cracker Barrel. Girl, you can't pay me to go in Cracker Barrel.
Me
They
either.
pay me to go in Cracker Barrel.
Yeah.
Anytime you put salt on the food and it make it worse, please. Like,
I don't think Cracker Barrel is made for us.
I don't think it's called a Cracker Barrel. I don't think it is either. But I'll
Just
try
saying.
anything once.
I
I went in
have,
there and seen that little
and now I
country
know I
stuff
don't
on the
like it.
wall, and I knew then. I said, I know who this is for.
It definitely makes your life better and your health better to be more open to stuff like you were talking about your gardening friend. He's Russian, but he got all the Indian, you know what
Oh,
I'm
he
saying,
got he got
spices.
stuff.
And
He had stuff I hadn't
you
even
don't
never
know
heard
how the
of.
different peppers and herbs and all that stuff is so good for your body.
He
We
brought me
got to
some
be more
shrimp.
open. It makes us sick.
He brought he brought me some shrimp vindaloo yesterday because when he tries new recipes, me and his and that's what I find interesting that he's Russian it. But like I said, he wasn't raised in Russia, but still, me and his palate is similar because it's so funny. Like within the little associate group, because see, he my friend, but a lot of them other people just my associates. Within the associate group, they text and trying to get together what restaurant they going to. Me and him have a direct text behind the scenes that they don't know about. And we like, okay, well, if they pick here, here, and here, we not going. I'm not going. He was like, sure, I'm with you because I ain't going either. I don't want no cafeteria food today. I didn't sign up for that.
Okay.
Me and him are happy to cook something and stuff like that versus go out and eat nasty food. I'm not paying for nasty food. And me and him is on the same page. So when he brought me that shrimp vindaloo is like an Indian dish.
Mm-hmm.
Got
Mm-hmm.
tomatoes and all that kind of stuff in it. But
Mm-hmm.
he made shrimp vindaloo because they had shrimp on sale. And he just like me, we love to hit a good sale.
Me
So
too. All what we eat is always what's on sale. Like
yeah,
I literally shop what's on sale, and if it's a whole lot, I might can it or dehydrate it or
yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah.
But we eating what's on sale, and plus what the meat man got.
Yeah. And so that's why I said like it's just crazy. I just find it I just noticed how many people and they'll go places and be like, "Oh yeah, that tastes great, blah blah blah. Oh yeah. McDonald's got good burgers." No, they don't. McDonald's burgers is trash. Like, you know,
I ain't
just
had
like and I
McDonald's
wanted
in
to
so
ask you
long.
this. Do they have In-N-Out Burger in Houston yet? Is it
Yeah.
baby, let me ask you something. I got to ask you this. So In-N-Out came to Dallas like I don't know. Mama was living. So it's been over 10 years now. But that's not something that's a Cali thing. And when
Yeah,
it
I when
first,
I left for Cali, we didn't have In-N-Out. When
yeah,
we
no,
came back, we had
no.
it, and I was
I was
like,
grown.
"Oh,
I was grown when they got In-N-Out in Dallas. Because I want to say they got it 10 years ago or about somewhere about there.
mm-hmm."
And I remember people in Cali was raving and raving and raving about it. And when I went and got it, I'm like, this is trash. What is this?
I still feel
And
the I still feel what you felt at the time. Like I don't know what's the hype about. When I was
what
in
is
California, the line would be out to the, like out on the street to get there during lunchtime, and I'm just like, when I finally tasted it,
and my
it
thing is Cali, they have good food. You know, now I hear there's not really, really good soul food, or if there is, there's not a lot of places. That's what I hear.
I didn't. I would say they have good diverse food. I wouldn't say specifically for soul food, but
Yeah,
again,
like I've heard all the like Hispanic, different Hispanic foods, Indian foods. I've heard like different cultures. Like I said, not necessarily, but you know, California, they kind of well, you know, they vilify soul food to a point. I'm not saying every single thing in soul food is healthy because I don't know if you saw that person that left a comment in my comment section. More or less, it's like they just I don't even know how they got there. They was like, well, you know, the enslaved figured out well we figured out now that you know soul food isn't good for us eating all this grease and this is that and other and I had to politely correct them. I said, hold on, first of all, you talking about way back in the slave times they figured out it wasn't good to eat that stuff. They wasn't even giving us that much meat like that. Like how much meat you thought was in the pot? That's modern times. They putting whole turkeys in the greens. They putting whole pigs in the greens. There's 2 leaves and 85 ham hocks. That's modern times. All of that accent, all of that bouillon. That's
yeah, back in
modern
the day,
times.
they had that little piece of meat to try to add
They
flavor
had
to
a
all
look.
the
My
greens.
granny used to call it streakaline. I wish you could have seen how my granny made greens. Streakaline. She had a piece of meat about that long. That it wasn't much meat in there. That's all the meat
Yeah,
she put in. And she didn't put bouillon and accent and all that. She put onion in there. She didn't even put garlic in hers. She just put onion. She put red pepper flake. She put the greens, that little piece of streakaline, and that's really about it. My granny didn't put sugar in her greens. I know some people do. My granny didn't put sugar in hers.
that's
And I
another
don't put
thing that
and I
I've
don't put sugar
learned.
in mine. I mean, it's personal preference. I don't put sugar in mine either. Um, I know
I
some
think
people.
another change as far as like back in the day and now is like, for instance, well, I'll use my grandfather. I can't speak for everybody's family members, but my grandfather used to have to catch a lot of what they were eating. Like my mom would be like, "Yeah, we ate coon." I'd be like, "Girl, like
Corn,
raccoon.
possum,
Don't try to give it a nickname. That was a
armadillo,
raccoon."
all that.
But I say all that to say it was work to catch the food. It wasn't like you were eating. You might not even been eating a big old slab of meat every single day. You're eating
And
what you
that's
can
what I
catch and
need
what
people
you
to
can
understand.
preserve.
I
And
need people,
now
but
we eat meat with every single meal. We eat it a lot. And so it's not like I'm saying we shouldn't eat meat. I'm just saying it's the
it's a lot
amount
more than
that
we
we're
used to eat.
eating is not working for us. And I even watched this on Netflix. There was another show that I watched and they had twins and they changed both of their diets. So one of them was on just like a plant-based diet and the other one was on a mostly meat diet. And what they were saying was it's not the fact that you're eating meat. Number one in America is the way the meat is treated, the way that it's raised, the things that they're feeding it. But then number two is the amount. Like Americans, we are so fat. We just eat so much. Like you're not supposed to have that
Your portion
much.
size, the portion size be so out of order until it's just sickening. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, it's a lady on Instagram. I can't think of her name, her page, but she always says decolonize your plate because people are quick to tell black people or people in general don't eat no rice, don't eat and all of this stuff. If you ever notice, it's always almost usually culturally appropriate African foods.
Yeah.
Like Africans been growing rice since the sun
And
started
they
coming.
eat rice with every meal.
That rice ain't killing
Either
you, but
rice or fufu or something. Like,
some that right. It's not the rice that's killing you. Understand that the rice that you buy off the shelf, by and large, now is a variety of rice that is inferior to the rices that were grown initially when the enslaved brought those rice seeds over. For instance, you
yeah.
can find rices in Africa that have way more protein than the rice we have here. Or if you
Hmm.
just get the Carolina rices, like if you get Carolina Gold, just look at the back of the package, the nutrition, um, the differences. Um, and then also it used to be, I think they said it used to be like over 200 or 300 varieties of rice that you could readily get because people bought rice depending on what they was making. So if you wanted a more sticky rice, you would get this variety, or if you wanted a more um fluffier rice, you might get this one. You want long grain, you get this. But nowadays it's pretty much brown and white when you go to the grocery
Yeah.
store. That's it. It's brown and white. That's it. But it's like the woman always talks about that decolonizing your plate. Stop allowing people to tell you automatically because it's soul food, it's unhealthy. Well, that depends. Now, I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
If you making your candy yams with a whole 5 pound sack of sugar, yeah, that is bleach and then bleach sugar on top of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that probably is unhealthy. But see, I don't do I sweeten mine, yeah, but not like that. Doggone it, it's too
I
much.
think everything in moderation. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like your
and
body
don't eat
feeds
the
off of
whole
sugar as
pan of
well. It can
sweet
turn into
potatoes.
energy. You just don't need to overdo it.
Don't eat the whole pan of sweet potatoes. Get your spoon and sit your behind down. You're doing too much. When they fry
Okay,
fish
Chuck
at the fish,
Weezy. Chuck Weezy said In and Out still got them long lines. Child, what is they
yeah,
waving
she.
up? And
When
they
I
don't
tell
even
you,
have that many choices. Like I'm like, baby, let me go to Whataburger and tell them just how I want to do it. Tell them
but
how to
yeah,
do it.
it's just wild to me. When you go to the fish fry, don't eat all the fish. Get 2 or 3 pieces and sit down. Don't eat fried fish every time. Bake it a little. Can you bake a little?
And
Can you
balance our
roast?
meals. We gotta balance our meals more.
Yeah, because like I was telling Chuck Weezy one day because I made what did I make? So there's a Louisiana dish called make shoe. Make shoe is where you take corn and you cut it off the cob. Traditionally, you would cook bacon. And then once you get through cooking the bacon, you scoop the bacon out, and then you put the after you cut the corn off the cob, you put the corn in the bacon grease and fry it. I wasn't feeling that. That was a little heavy for my liking. And I'm a bacon. This is from a bacon lover, but I said I'm not doing that. What I did was I got some chicken smoked sausage, and I cut it up. and I sauteed it. And smoked sausage, even though it's chicken, it still got a little bit of fat, but it ain't nearly as
Mm-hmm.
much as the bacon. Scooped it out, put my corn in, saute, put corn, onions. I put some sweet peppers. I put some hot peppers, garlic. Let all that saute, in there together. Then I put the chicken sausage back in.
That sounds good.
Oh yeah, it was good. And we was talking, and she said, "You did you make anything else to go with it?" I said, "You know what? To be honest, I'm kind of feeling eating a little lighter. Like I don't want to eat heavy every day. I'm not.
Yep.
It's you know.
Especially on days you ain't doing nothing.
And I had
Especially
done
on
some of that,
days
but
you ain't moving
it's
around.
just like so. I'm supposed to eat 4 steaks every day. No, and I don't eat 4 steaks. I don't. I barely eat steak. I hardly ever eat steak. But like, yeah, no. But here lately, I've just really enjoyed eating light and just kind of. Some days I eat meat, some days I don't. Sometimes I go in there and I cook me some sweet potato greens and season them up good and eat them. And then some days, I will. I may bake some chicken to go with something, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if I'm lazy, I'll do like sheet pan. You know how you can roast your
Yes,
vegetables
baby, I
and your
love me a
stuff.
sheet pan meal. Roast
Yeah.
you some stuff in the oven.
Hmm. I keep telling people keep balling. Y'all better quit balling that stuff. Balling is cool, but it's just like when people ball stuff to death. That's
I feel like I just boil stuff to make a puree out of it.
yeah, if you need
That's
to.
it. And then I'm
Like,
roasting.
but
Other than
some
that, I'm
people like
roasting or
somebody
sauteing
gonna
or
tell me, "Oh, you don't boil your corn." Hell no. What I'm boiling corn on the cob now? Am I boiling it? No, I'm boiling that for.
let's
But
see, we got some comments.
when you rate,
LA is getting better with soul food, but the gentrifiers are too involved. Baby,
oh
even
no,
on TV shows, they showing how they gentrifying LA, and I'm over it. But that's everywhere. I think LA is just famous.
they
So
been famous.
they've been
Homestead
famous, so
hard
we watching
canned
it a
some
lot
black
in real
rice and
time,
tofu.
how they doing that.
They said 50 years ago. In and out is that old? Black nutrition. See,
It was the bomb 50 years ago. What did they do to it?
Chuck Weezy be on it, Aisha. Black nutritionist. That's the one on IG that be telling you to decolonize your plate.
Okay, I'm gonna go find him. And then each one teach one garden. I love your name. Said homestead heart can some black rice. I saw that and I'm glad that you brought that up because in a different live I was asking Diva about what were her thoughts on like canning and preserving and learning. For instance, I'm new to it. I guess I'm new to it. I'm like 2 years or so into it now, but
OG.
me learning, I'm an OG baby. But me learning was a lot from books and like um tested recipes at first. I think the more you do it, you kind of learn what can be canned how and what things that you can adjust and what you can't. But I also like to learn this channel called Make It Make, and she shows a lot of like Amish canning practices. But Homestead Heart was somebody that I like to watch that helped me feel comfortable in canning as well. And I
She done
noticed that
canned
she
everything
doesn't
under the
always
sun.
can stuff that would be like traditionally tested recipes, but Homestead Heart has been canning, or she's been in a family of canners since she was a little girl.
Hmm.
And see, that's what I was kind of
Homestead.
saying. Like, if my grandma taught me how to can this recipe, like, baby, the
Yeah.
USDA wasn't gonna be able to tell me a thing. And I think rice is one of those things that they say you're not supposed to can. But if you watch somebody who's been canning, growing, she got grandchildren, her husband be well fed and excited. He all be in the garden supporting or
Yeah.
whatever to get it to the point where she can can it. It's like there's something to be said for experience, I feel like. And I feel like
Yeah.
Homestead Heart is that channel that helps you like feel comfortable and also has experience where like her aunties were canning this stuff.
Hmm.
Her mama was canning, and you can kind of learn from somebody who's been doing it all their life.
Yeah.
So I just
Yeah.
want to throw that
Homestead
out there
Heart.
because it brought back my thoughts about that.
Homestead Heart is from Louisiana. I don't. She's never said what part, but I got a sneaking suspicion she's from North Louisiana somewhere. I wish you would tell where she was from and tell a little bit more of her background, but that's her business whether she chooses to tell that or not. But I'm curious because my granny is from North Louisiana too. So I wonder
Mm.
if they, her people and my people might have been running in the same circles. You never know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, Homestead Heart is canned because she was canning butter, which I mean, and a lot of people was like, "Why would you can that?" But that's basically ghee, like more or less.
Yes.
But I guess people don't know what ghee is. I don't
Maybe
know.
they don't. I
It's not used a lot in it's Indians use ghee a lot, but it's not. I get it,
but we don't.
I get it because it's
I
some
think
stuff.
for me it's just like being more open and like if you don't have any history in something, then I might not listen to you, but I can clearly
Well, I
see you've
mean,
been doing
I
this for
assume
years.
she's eating that stuff, so she living, so can't be too bad, is it?
That what I'm saying. Her grandbaby's eating it, the husband eating it,
Yeah,
she eating it, the kids eating it. Like they seem to be doing well.
yeah. Some working, some working. Girl, did Homestead Heart? She still got all of her birds, her chickens and stuff.
I don't know.
Cause I haven't seen them recently. Remember
Yeah,
when she had all those chickens and ducks and turkeys and
we might need to go ask.
I know. Like,
Cause she
girl, you
normally
hide
will
what?
tell us if it was something big, she'd be like
Yeah.
with that black
I,
cow, she was like, oh yeah. I was like, oh shit, it's burnt up, ain't it?
they trying to get a cow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think that would be better than I think for them especially because they've been growing for so long, like having but the chickens too. The chickens also add manure, you know.
Her husband said the only milk he can drink. So they want a Jersey cow, and it's a certain kind of something. He can only drink a certain kind of milk, and the cow got to be grass fed and all of this. So yeah, said they
Mm,
want one cow for the milk, because apparently he can't really drink the milk from the store, or if he can, it's one particular whatever he can drink. So they would rather get a cow to, you know, but she says she wants to make yogurt and make
mhm.
cream and butter and
Yeah, I would like
which
to do that. I don't
which
have
the way
space in no
she be
cow.
in the kitchen, it'll cut out on her stuff. I have to give it to a girl. I like what she do. Girl, I don't know how she stand in that kitchen alone. Making all this baby, she be standing I be getting tired. Like, hell, I'm tired. You got 6 more times. You got 6 more rounds of can. You got 7 candles on the stove. You got 3 candles back in the back somewhere. You get like,
I don't know how she does it. I'm definitely not to that level at all.
but see, that's why I feel like she might have ran in the circles because that's how my granny was. And they say my granny's mother, which I knew my great grandmother, my granny's mother, she died when I was 12. They say back in the day she could stand in the kitchen. It take my granny to talk about how because they didn't have no air conditioning and they had wood stoves. She
Mm,
said my great grandmother would be standing in the kitchen making stuff in can and standing there so long you could just see the sweat running down her legs. She would be canning
mm.
stuff. And she was already a thin woman because they were thin
She was
on my
in the
dad's side of the
sweatshop.
family. They thin. Yeah, and it take my granny to talk about how the sweat would just be running down her legs. She would be sweating. So I said, "Oh my god!"
Mm.
But you got to get it done. But yeah, they could stand up to a stove like that. Whew,
It's a
look,
lot for me. Canning is a full freaking day. Then you still got to figure out what you're gonna eat. But I'm
yep,
always happy when I'm done with it. I'm always so, proud of myself. But I'll be looking like, ugh, I worked today. Can we
yeah,
buy food?
I know. And if
Janet
the
said I
food,
use ghee a lot. Mrs. H canned milk and butter and rice. They don't have a
yeah.
goat anymore.
And
Oh,
when
okay.
when she can in that milk, it put me in the mind of like almost not quite like you're making carnation milk. You get what I'm saying? It's shelf
Mm-hmm.
stable. It put me in the mind of that. And
Mm-hmm.
look, didn't carnation go out? You can't get that no more, can you? So
Right.
you better see can you can use a milk because you can't go get that pet milk carnation whatever. Something went out of business.
And see, that's what I'm saying. They say you can't can like dairy, but She's been doing it for years.
Pet milk and them doing it. What they doing? They ain't doing nothing no different. They doing the same things. That's the same stuff. It's just but I know what it is. There is this potential that you could make yourself sick. So instead of, like for instance, there is a company that puts out the canning books. There's more than one company. Ball is just one of them. But because we live in such a litigious society, they're not finna tell you to do that, because if you do it and make yourself sick, they open themselves up for liability. That's what it
That's
is.
true.
We have to be smart enough in our own mind to understand that. But see, well, like I tell people, this is why when you own your own business, you think like a business owner, so you automatically see that. It's
Mm-hmm.
most people who have an employee mindset. They don't think like that. Well, why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're thinking like an employee. Think like a business that you have to protect. You're not finna do nothing stupid to open yourself up to a multi-million-dollar suit where
That's true.
your business can be closed. So we have to know in our mind what that's about and understand, okay, well, they're saying that for this reason. But
Yeah.
I'm going to use my own wisdom and discernment to say, well, I'll do this. I will or won't do whatever, and make
Mm-hmm.
those decisions in your life. That's why when I told you before, if you don't know nothing about canning, yeah, you might want to start with the stuff that for sure won't kill you. And then maybe
Just to
after
get
you
the
learn,
process down, because if you're pressure canning, it's a process. And
mm-hmm,
I started to pressure can during this live. Maybe I'll do that for the next one.
yeah,
Because
cause
people keep saying like,
cause at 2 o'clock I'm gonna let you go, honey, cause I know you got something to do.
I do, but that's
Uh,
okay. You see, they kept it quiet for me. My husband
they
just sneaking
did,
through here.
but
The
I got
kids
stuff
ain't
to do
came
too.
in. It ain't gonna
If
last
it was up
long,
to
but we
me, I'd talk all day. But
no, let's do it.
unfortunately,
I think
life
two is
moves
good.
on.
What y'all
Yeah.
think? Y'all let us know in the comments how y'all feel.
And
But
y'all
I
know
think we're
we'll be
doing
back
good.
again next week. And y'all
We'll
gonna
be
have to
back.
stop being shy. Y'all gonna have to get on the thing, because ain't nobody said they want to join. I could have did the invite. Y'all just shy and
You
stuff.
did.
Y'all,
I was thinking, man, we getting to the end and nobody said they want to get on.
these people so shy. They
But
shy.
that's okay. Maybe
Janet,
next
you want
time.
Janet? I'ma send you Felix. If you ready, I'm put him in a box. I put some holes in the box.
Felix gonna catch a flight.
Yeah, Felix. Felix finna get flued out. He finna get flued. He finna get flued out.
He's gonna get flued. Flued right to you.
How she said something about that accent, talking about Gina, baby. You keep on cooking with that accent, and you got diabetes and all of this stuff, and you taking these, you taking these. See, and that's my thing. I know diabetes running my family. I'm not trying. If I can help it, I ain't trying to be on the shots and
Mm-hmm.
all of this stuff. It's too much.
It's
It's
better to be
too much.
proactive.
Baby, I'm doing the best I can be
And
proactive.
I barely trust doctors, so I just be trying to keep it healthy at home because I ain't about to go nowhere unless it's like a for real
Yeah, I
emergency.
mean, I like I said, I have checkups that I annually I get a physical. I have my blood work done to make sure that like my glucose levels where they supposed to be. Whatever, like your magnesium and different things like that is where it's supposed to be. Your iron. I get that blood work done. It's several other things in there, but I'm forgetting, what all the other stuff is to make sure that's okay. And every time I get it done, my cholesterol is on there too. And the healthy cholesterol is where it's supposed to be, and the bad cholesterol is low. And I
Mm.
make sure that stuff stays like that. And if I see changes, um, I adjust accordingly, because that's kind of a window into your health. That's not all of it, but it's a window. Because when you have things, because my neighbor went had the same thing. I'm telling y'all, please, she eat like a 4-year old. Please try to eat. I'm not saying you got to eat perfect, because I don't eat perfect. Last night we went out to a restaurant. I'm gonna tell you now, I had bread pudding, I had ice cream, I had some. What did I have? I had some fried. Oh, I had a po' boy. I had a
Mm.
shrimp po' boy. I ain't gonna, baby, I didn't eat good yesterday. I mean, it was some lettuce and tomato on that po' boy, but other than that, so,
Well,
but
that's okay
understand early,
because if you, for the most part, try to be mindful, like
yeah,
obviously
I don't eat
nobody's
like that every
perfect, and
day.
I eat food to enjoy. I like the taste of food.
Yeah,
That's why I'm eating it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
yeah, I
Flavor
do.
is first for me, and I'm trying to work
Yeah,
on everything else
yeah,
second. But the more I grow it, the more I snack on healthy stuff.
yeah.
The more I
Because that's what I
preserve
was
it,
gonna
or the
say
more I hang
earlier
out
in
with
the
other
day, though.
growers.
That's definitely what I was gonna say because earlier in the day, I had some stuff in the garden, and I make sure I drink enough water. And I will say that when I go to restaurants, now that I sodas, I get
I don't
water when
drink
I go
soda
to a
either.
restaurant.
Not really.
The only time I drink sodas, I will partake in a soda depending on the ingredients. So I don't know if you've ever seen some of the like very small independent soda makers. Their ingredients are pure cane sugar, or that's
Mm-hmm.
the only way. If it's high fructose corn syrup and color and all that stuff, I won't drink it. It has to be a
Yeah.
soda that has simple ingredients, cane sugar, fruit juices, no color, no. I try to stay away from all that crap because it's unnecessary foolishness. So, but yeah, I get water when I go to restaurants. I don't drink. I'm not a heavy drinker of alcohol. I don't think alcohol is the devil, but I think excessive drinking can be problematic, especially when you have diabetes because of the way alcohol works in your body. It can accelerate diabetes if you get what I'm saying. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, like I stay away from stuff. I may drink something every blue moon. Um, but that's the main thing. She said I'm okay. I opened some apple butter I canned 2 years ago and ate it. I ain't no expert, but I'm here to do that, so it must be good. Army chickadee crazy.
All right,
Army
I'm a
chick.
chickadee. Was
I
good,
trust.
baby. You
Look,
still here?
she was in the army. If they trust you to blow people's heads off, I'm sure you can some apple butter. I'm sure you got that handle.
Since the army is just a job, the army is just full of Americans. I feel like when I was in the Navy, well, not in the Navy, when my husband was in the Navy and we would travel and stay on base and stuff, I think people had like a false sense of security that like, oh, we're on base, so it's only military people here. And I'm like, military people are just Americans.
Yeah, definitely.
And in America, you
For
have
the
a
for the most
concentration of
part.
all different types of people, right? You got racists and
Yeah.
rapists, and they would do all that kind of stuff on
Yes.
base.
Yes. Yes. And
So,
that's the only thing I'm displeased with, and it's not the military, it's the leaders when they cover up stuff like that because
yeah,
that's
and
such
no,
a
no disrespect, Army
no.
Chickadee. I thank you for your service. I thank anybody for their
Yeah.
service. It's a hard job.
Army
You're
chickadee for
definitely
the part she
sacrificing a lot. I'm just
yeah.
saying, just knowing that you're in the military doesn't make you a certain type of person all the time.
Mhm.
Like, we saw so much stuff, and it was very hard, especially for spouses, if they were going through certain things or trying to get out of certain things. It's kind of scary if they didn't have a certain type of like support or command on their
Exactly.
side. So
Because
anyway, that's a
yeah.
whole
I
nother
was in
conversation.
I was
But
in
I'm a chickadee
JROTC.
still here. So, and I know the apple butter, um, it's like concentrated apples, right?
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
you just kind of cook it
you cook it
down. I
down.
haven't done it yet, but I've seen a lot of people do fruit butters.
But yeah, I was in JROTC in high school, and we had a really good battalion. I was in armed, so you could be in JROTC, but then you could be in the extracurricular stuff. And I was in the armed drill team. So the armed drill team is the one with the rifles. I also was on the marksman team as well. So we learned how to shoot. That mostly was, oh, we in the hood and we can shoot legally. We can shoot these guns legally. So where do I sign up? That's what that was about. But I actually got really good at because the some of the recruiters came from Fort Hood to come check our battalion out after because the drill team, both our unarmed and armed, won nationals I think the color guard got second, and the marksman team we won nationals for that too. And it was a process because we did like regional. You know, you go to all these different competitions till you get the nationals and win. And of course, you know, they're really the military. They got their scopes out, and we were Army in ROTC because like in high school it just depends. You could be Army, Navy, Air
Mm-hmm.
Force, Marines. You could be either one of them, but we
I
were
think ours
Army.
was Army too. I wasn't in it at my high school, but I think
Yeah,
ours was Army.
yeah. A lot of most of them are Army. I think the ones you see the least is Marines. I always thought Marines looked really like when you would see their battalions, they were beautiful battalions, and they drilled really well. But anyway, but yeah, needless to say, they tried to get me to come to the military several times, and I told the crew to flat out. I said, first of all, to be fair, sometimes y'all don't protect women the way they should be protected. Like if you don't think that I know about women who have been raped and they go to their superiors, nothing's done about it. They don't say anything. It's swept up under the rug. You want me to
Or
fight
it's the
for this
superior that
nation
did it.
and then I said number two, you want me to fight for this nation that
Don't love
I
me.
don't really feel they too much care for me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I have a huge respect for those that go serve because on the face of it all, we know that because here's the thing. My grandfather was in Korea and all these different and I have my uncles were in Vietnam. I'm talking about and not just I'm saying this to say they saw combat. These ain't people that just I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with just serving, but when you see combat, that's another level. So I have a great respect because every one of them knew the same thing I know that this country don't really care about us and it's crazy. You fight and fight and fight and then they still kind of look at you like a second class citizen. Like,
Mm-hmm. I mean,
child, but
Chickadee
yeah, I
said the
have a great
military.
respect for people who can go and serve because to me, I look at it like I just didn't have whatever to, to be able to do it. And other people
That's why we
can
all
really
have our
go,
own our
yeah,
jobs to play, our parts to play,
yeah. They can be
because it's
selfless
something
and go
something
do
for
that.
all of us. I mean, Chickadee said the military gives you the experience of travel and meeting other people with various backgrounds, which is what I enjoy. And
Yeah.
I will
And
add
that would have
that
been the
me
part
and
that
my
I would
husband
have
met each
enjoyed.
other very young in college. We were 20. We had Anaya at 22. I had her in March and graduated that May. I had to take her to school with me. And then he had a whole nother year before he graduated.
Girl,
And
you a
for
cougar.
us, it was a opportunity for him to set up some things for our family in a time frame that it needed to be set up as college kids with a baby getting out of school and stuff. So now that we're out and even today, black people have to do extra to get the benefits that they're supposed to get. But he was able to do that, and I feel like it's more worth it now that we're out than when we were in. But I had to have Mia by myself and almost died. He wasn't here for that. He could have came home without a wife and a baby.
Mm.
So it's a lot of sacrifice. It's a lot. It's just a lot. So I do appreciate everyone who decides to serve, whether it's to care for their family. I don't really believe that most people that sign up just be like, I believe in America so hard. But also it's a means to a
Not the
way.
majority. Not the majority. I've met I think it's very few. Very few. It just like you know how you have certain police officers that sign up for the right reasons and then you have others that sign up for nefarious reasons. I think it's the same thing in the military.
Yeah, I agree. And
You
I think we
always
just have
have
to
that
remember
little
that.
cluster. But the vast majority are everyday Americans, and the vast majority, I'm gonna be honest. Most of the people that I knew, especially my age range that joined the military, quite frankly, they had no desire to go to college, or they didn't have any ways to get to college. Like you may have a desire, but it's like you just don't have. You either can't get there, you can't apply, you don't have the money. Like I knew several people like that just honestly did not have it. It's free to join the military, and I can go make money. You know what I mean?
And my
So
dad, he was in the Air Force, and the Air Force paid for his degree from
yeah,
Texas
and
A&M.
that's what some people do. You know what I mean? They
So, it
yeah.
is a resource. Depending on who's in office now, look,
Hello,
you
I
got to
saw
be
that
careful
coming
when you're
down there.
going in and out of that thing.
I saw it, and look, I went to when you go to the college graduation. So if your college has ROTC, you can enter into whatever branch as an officer. And see, those are the people that I would like to talk to, like going in as an officer. What's the difference? Because I don't meet very
Very
many
different.
officers.
Because my
Yeah,
husband went in as enlisted.
yeah. And I don't meet very many officers. And I think enlisted versus officers, I think you experience things totally different. My battalion in high school, so we had two guys running the program. One was enlisted, and the other guy was a colonel. He was a 3 diamond colonel. And when you would talk to them, they both were in the army, but you would have thought they were in different branches because of the way they experience things. Because Colonel Blanc, who was white, he had the ability to go to college first, and he went into the
Yeah.
military that way and was an officer, versus Sergeant Hernandez, who was Hispanic. He
Which
went
is so
enlisted.
funny because my husband is from Nigeria, so he's been a permanent resident, like I get since I met him, right? And that's the only reason why he had to go in enlisted instead of as an officer, because he had a degree, but he was a permanent resident and not a citizen. So through the military, he got his citizenship, right? But they still started him off as enlisted. And
Yeah,
so it's just very interesting how, like, you can come over here and we can use your skills in your body or whatever, but
yeah,
you're only gonna be
but
able
you
to get it
cancel
because
out
a
some
permanent
stuff.
resident, like, that means you're here permanently, right? So like you've been
Girl,
spending
so
money,
you would
paying
think,
taxes.
honey.
You've
Yeah,
been a part of this society, right? Through
yeah,
paperwork, not like you, because you can't sneak from Nigeria. Anyway, um but it's just interesting, the different things that will contribute to the way that you experience a thing. I would definitely say being an officer and being enlisted is two different
yeah. I think they experience
things.
it totally different.
Army Chickadee say got out 5 years ago when he shall not
Hello,
be named.
because like I said, permanent
Perfect
residency.
timing.
If they trying to do away with birthright citizenship, see that this see that throws all of that into question when you start fooling around with all that kind of stuff. Because now you're trying to say people even born here technically ain't citizens. So what do that do to permanent residency? You really ain't no citizen. You see what I'm saying? Even though you've
Mm-hmm.
been functioning as a functioning piece of society. You've been
And you
doing, like
did the
you said,
proper paperwork. Like,
you
this is
paying
not.
bills, you paying taxes. Sometimes you paying taxes more than what some of these rich folk paying. Uh, but that ain't enough. So maybe that's the conversation for next week.
Yeah, look, I'm about to say we about to go into a whole nother thing. So, you guys, if you're catching the replay, please comment below. Let us know that you watched, that you enjoyed it, or what you enjoyed, and what you would like for us to talk about next time and in the future. I will definitely be back if Diva will have me.
Of course. And I want to mention this right quick. Army Chickadee says she dropping a vlog tonight. Y'all watch her vlogs. They be good.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch it too.
yeah.
It's gonna be about the apple butter. It don't matter. I'm still gonna
She
watch
said
it. But I
she
think she
editing.
said something about.
Yeah, I think it may probably got some of that in it. I think that's what she said. She said yes in my blog. I think she was talking about the apple butter. So yeah, y'all
Okay,
check out.
nice. I want
Check
to try apple butter too, so I can't wait to watch your vlog. That's gonna
Yeah,
be cool.
she
Thanks
gonna
for
show you how to do
sharing.
it because she showed how to make some other stuff before in some of her vlogs. She showed how to make some dandelion salve for your skin,
Mm,
and she showed how to make other stuff. It's just escaping my memory right now, but yeah. So
that's all
y'all
right. We'll go to her channel.
yeah, y'all check that out. And I appreciate everybody for coming. Thank you so much for dropping in, everybody that came. And we'll definitely be back next week. Please share the live and let everybody know. If you had a good time, share it. If you had a horrible time, still share it. Um, and and you let other people make up their mind whether they like it or dislike it. So,
That's
but
right.
until next time, we will see you guys later.
Peace.
Girl, and here I am. I hope I don't press end. I don't know.
Like, I don't know how to get out of here, and
Oh,
I
oh,
think
oh, I
we're
got it. I
still
got it.
in
Okay, bye,
here.
y'all.